No, it went out. I mean,
Yeah, but I said in a minute.
did it go out to Facebook?
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Hey, Ivy. Everyone was expecting us to have technical difficulties.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just tweeted out again and said we're live now.
Okay.
And I did check the link.
Okay, cool.
Jeremy's having too much fun with the drawing.
Yes,
Yeah. All right.
That's all this podcast is going to be.
Pretty much. You guys know the schedule. All right, let me get my thing. Hello, thanks everyone for joining. This is Sunday, July 13th. There are 10 days until San Diego Comic-Con 2014. I said that fast. Do it again. This is Sunday, July 13th. There are 10 days until San Diego Comic-Con 2014. Welcome to the SDConCast, the official podcast of the San Diego Comic-Con unofficial blog.
VANUHTEE go. Oh my god, I love LiveJournal, and my LiveJournal loves me. Current mood is hyperactive, current music refuse 73. I love the color scheme, it's pink and purple, it looks dreamy. I love all the posts I make and the million comments that they rake. I love the internet and I love the world. Oh my god, I love my...
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the SDConCast, our very special breaking down the schedule episode. This is part 2 of that. We're going to go through Saturday and Sunday schedules, which were just released yesterday and today. Today, I am joined by Kerry Dixon. Hello, Kerry.
Hey, Jeremy and everybody else.
Welcome back. Also, James Riley, my partner in crime.
Hey there.
And also new to the Breaking Down podcasts, Sarah Merton. Sorry.
Ahoy, hoy.
Yeah. Hi. How are you? You know what? I have myself clicked. So there you go. Now we can see you. Everybody say hi.
Hey,
Hello.
guys. Let's all say hi over each other at the exact same time.
Right.
Wait, no, let me say hi now. Am I going to say hi? Can you hear me at all?
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi.
All right.
Hi.
I'm not showing. Can you?
Yeah, I can see you. All right, real quick, so this is going to be my, whoa, we got lots of people. Hey, guys, so if you have a question, please use the Q&A app over there, or wherever it is for you. Send us a question about the schedule. We'll do our best to help you out, try and find a way to get you in the room that you want to get to. If it's Marvel, though, I'll tell you, just line up now. But before we begin, this is the commercial part. So remember on... Friday, it was Friday, wasn't it? Where we talked about these sprue kits, these Bandai models that they're giving away or giving to us to give away at our party. I put a couple together. They're actually pretty cool. So I just wanted to show you. So they're just like normal models, like you have the snap it pieces or whatever. It's kind of like, James, you remember these, like the snap together models or whatever. So you didn't need the glue,
Oh, yeah.
you just can snap together. That's what they're like. So this is the
kit.
right. So this is the Halo one, and they're designed in Japan. They come with a nice stand. So this is the Master Chief, and I did this. So this is the intermediate level. So there's 3 different levels. Let me see if we can get that. So that's Master Chief. The cool thing about these is that they are, look, he's got a gun there and all that cool stuff. They are posable and articulate. So they have joints. So you build them, and they're really cool looking. So there you go. There's going to be 4. I have 4 of them. They're gonna debut the line at Comic-Con, but we'll have some to give away, which is really awesome. So there's a Master Chief. There's a Batman one, like a small Batman. There's a big Batman, and then there's Superman. I don't have Superman's upstairs, but I put them all together. But anyway, if you want one of these, come to our party. We're doing the VIP tickets. Those go on sale tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. We're not making any money off the deal. It's just a way to give you guys the T-shirts. So they're just basically T-shirts at cost and getting you guys into the party, guaranteed, as long as you're there by 8:30. All right.
If you're there after, you still get your shirt.
Yep. If you're there after, you still get a shirt and a swag bag. So.
Hey, I saw a lot of questions, people asking if there's a limit to the number of tickets they can buy for this fantastic
You want to buy all
party.
50, go for it. I didn't put a limit on it.
There's your challenge issued, folks.
I don't think that's fair, but if you want to do it, if you have a big family, if you're like 8 is enough, and you all want to come to our party.
19 and counting.
Right.
Hope they all arrive in one
How come they don't have a panel?
8 is enough?
No, 19 and counting or whatever it is. 21 and counting.
Oh, is that
They
one of
fill up
those?
the whole room.
That one
It's
of
just
those.
the family.
Yeah. Geez, we already got a couple questions. Freddie Murphy on Twitter says, "Do you think I should camp out for community panel?" Kerry, what do you think?
I mean, it depends on how close you want to be. If you just want in the room, I'd say be in line by like 7, 8.
In the morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, last year I was in Ballroom 20 on Thursday for Sherlock and X-Files. I got in line at 5, and I was in that front section.
Oh,
I wasn't
well, there
front
you
row
go.
like Kerry, but I was in the front section. So
Really?
yeah,
Because Kerry camped out, and we were in the front couple of rows.
Kerry's hardcore.
Were you right behind us?
I was maybe halfway back in that front section.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Those are great seats. Those are actually probably better seats for if you wanted to use a camera or something. But
Yeah, I'm
let's
also
see what
really
else-
short, so I have to try and find a screen.
Oh yeah, right, exactly.
Not sure,
J1 Ruchan says, just wondering how early I'll have to get in line to get a chance for this Saturday festivities. Thank you. Friday. Sorry. Honestly.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
you're not wrong.
Yeah. All right. So here's the deal. If you guys missed our breakdown on Friday, this is what we do. We go through each day, Saturday first, then Sunday. We go through the big rooms. So we do Hall H, Ballroom 20, Indigo, 6 BCF, 6A, and then we do Dark Horses. So while along the way we talk about what is the panel lineup in that room, what are the panels that will clear out before and after, so you know have a good idea of when to get in line. We'll tell you the big panels and when to get in line, just kind of like what we did now, and any kind of contention between rooms. So if we think that a lot of people one day are going to be in one room versus another, we'll factor that into our analysis. And then at the end we do what we call dark horse picks, which is we go through the panel, or we'll go through the panel schedule in detail and look for some of those panels that you might have glossed over otherwise, and we'll bring them to your attention. So so that's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. We love doing it, and hopefully you like listening to it. So with that being said, let's get started with Saturday. Now Saturday is generally the biggest day of the convention. It's when all the big Hollywood studios come and they do their big Hall H presentations. It's also one of the most crowded because most of the people have the day off. It's the weekend, so you get a lot of people coming in from out of town and whatnot. So, so let's go through it, right? And this is what. So we already knew most of these, but 10 a.m. Is Warner Brothers in Hall H, and they're going to be bringing. They've named 3 movies, which is Jupiter Ascending, which is the Wachowski siblings. Which was supposed to come out by now and it got delayed. So that's Channing Tatum. Is he going to be there? Right?
He's coming for the Fox panel the day before, so I'm sure he's going to stick around.
Yeah, he's in it. And Mila Kunis. Hopefully
I would
she's in it
assume.
too.
Yeah.
Yep.
It
All
also
right.
has Sean Bean, who might be there for the TNT stuff, the
Oh yeah.
Legends.
Sean Bean in that
not-
movie?
He's not currently confirmed for TNT, but you never know.
Right. So if he shows up for that, he'll probably stick around for this.
I hope he's there. Why wouldn't he be?
Uh,
They're making a big
they
promotion
killed,
out
they
of
killed
it.
him off already?
Yeah, they don't kill Sean Bean. Right. But all right, so that's Jupiter Ascending, then Mad Max Fury Road, which is pretty. I'm interested in it. It's the original director of the Road Warrior trilogy, George Miller. He's going back to the franchise, but now with Mel Gibson. This time with Tom Hardy. Excuse me, Tom Hardy. That's hard to say. But they didn't say if he was going to be there when they did the press release. They just said George Miller.
And
So
none of the names are bolded, so obviously that means they don't know who's showing up, if anyone.
right now, Warner always does surprises, so maybe they
Yeah.
just want to keep this under wraps.
I'd actually like to see them bring the entire cast that they list. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it would be nice. And also, Nicholas Holt's in it, so he's
Charlize
Beast from
Theron.
X-Men.
Yeah.
Yep, Charlize Theron. She's been at Comic-Con before for Prometheus. Yeah, and then they're going to show some footage of that movie, which Jermaine said it was done, it was in the can, but it's going to be released next May or June, something like that. So folks are going to get a really early look at that. And then the third movie that they have listed is The Hobbit: The Battle of Five Armies. So that's the final movie in the Hobbit trilogy. They did mention that Peter Jackson would be there.
And we also know Elijah Wood's in town because he's doing a DJ set somewhere.
And Evangeline Lilly's doing her book thing.
Yep.
And Benedict Cumberbatch is in town for Penguins.
Yep.
So, yeah, we should get a decent amount of people showing up for it.
I mean, this is the last. We've been saying this for months. This is the last Hobbit movie. This is probably the last Peter Jackson Tolkien movie. Why not bring the cast and do a big curtain call?
Mm-hmm. I think they're going to go all out.
Yeah. Now the last time that they were there, two years ago. Basically the Hobbit took over an entire hour of the Warner Brothers presentation. So right now it's 2 hours. It's probably likely it won't take that long. But they did like a huge extended scene. They did a big behind-the-scenes footage and kind of documentary footage of the last days of principal photography because that just wrapped a few days before. They had Elijah Wood. They had a lot of people. Was Lee Pace was there, right?
I think so.
Richard Armitage.
Ian McKellen. No, it was Armitage, McKellen, Wood, and one or two others. I'd have to go look in my files to see what photos I took.
I know Andy Serkis was there.
Andy Serkis, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a big couple years ago, and then they weren't there last year. So just them being back is interesting. But as we see from the panel schedule this year, nothing is a given, right?
Yep.
So all right, so Jane, all right, Sarah and Kerry, you guys have never seen a Warner Brothers studio panel, right? Or have you?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I don't think I have.
All right.
Yeah,
So me and James have for the past 2 years. They are filled to the brim with movies. They basically trot out a movie every 15 minutes or so with a couple of 5-10 minute teasers in between here and there. I mean, I wish I could remembered to count how many movies they had last year and the year before. But I mean, like they did the Godzilla teaser 2 years ago. Last year they had the Warcraft teaser, which was when they were part of Legendary, but or Legendary was part of them, or however you want to say it. But they just brought out celebrity and movie after celebrity and movie, and just it was nonstop. Yeah. It is a very exhausting panel, exciting and exhausting, just because of the amount of content that they trot out. So. So here's the question, right, James? Do you think they are going to do something for... All right, so earlier in the year, there was that rumor that they had like the 10 movies or 7 movies or whatever it was, the DC upcoming movies, and that was going to be part of their Comic-Con presentation. Do you think that's going to be part of this? Seeing what we see, it's 2 hours, 3 movies already. Do you think they're going to spend enough time to devote to upcoming DC slate?
Considering that nothing exists except for some footage for Batman vs. Superman, if they do anything for the future ones, it will be like for Batman Superman last year. Mm-hmm. So yes, they have plenty of time for it.
Title card or something.
Title cards, announcements, maybe directors or stars if they've got them for the first few movies that they're going to go in production on. Mm-hmm. But that's going to take 5 or 10 minutes, so they got plenty of time for it if they're going to do it. Which I hope they do, because they need to do something.
Well, and we can talk about this. I'm a little curious whether they're going to do something here or whether they're going to save it for the big event at night.
That's right.
Because if they save it for night, they basically will leapfrog Marvel into the consciousness. So what people will remember that night is, oh my gosh, they just announced all this stuff, right? And they're no longer Marvel's no longer the last panel of the day that everybody remembers. It's going to be this. Now,
well, not only that, but I mean, the last panel of the day is literally Warner Brothers and DC. Like, what better time is there to do it?
Before it wasn't, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, now, Warner always used to be before. Marvel always used to take the last panel. It's 3 hours long. They're doing 4 television shows during that. We'll talk about it a little bit later. But do you think there's room for a big announcement? I mean, they're doing cast, producers. It's going to be hosted by Stephen Amell.
I mean, they're basically moving all of the panels for like Constantine, and they're redoing them for this 3-hour block, except for the Gotham one, which isn't showing up anywhere else. It's really weird.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean redoing?
All the stars are showing up. They're showing the show just like they were in the earlier panel, if they do that. But all of the stars from the panel that are going to be there earlier in the day are coming again for the night.
Yeah.
I would like to point out, though, Arrow is actually not showing a whole episode, so that does free up some time.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
They're not showing a whole episode?
Mm-mm. They said they'd show, like, some footage, but they're not showing the whole episode. They are with the others.
Interesting.
Okay, so that's 2 hours of TV then, basically.
Yeah.
Alberto Garcia says no McKellen and no Freeman this time. Reason?
Bummer.
They're going to be doing something? I don't know. I know that Richard Armitage is doing a film or a play in London, and people are saying he might not. Whatever. Oh, hey, Scott Mueller says, love the new Comic-Con banner in my room. Look at that. Wait, see? Thor over here. Oop, let me just click on that. Thor is right behind me, and there's the Comic-Con banner over there. Look at that. Thank you. All right. Ivy says they're not showing all 4 shows. I think that's what we just talked about.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay, so that's Warner. I mean, am I excited about Warner? Yes. I'm always excited about Warner. But if you look at the slate, I am not excited for Warner because I'm going to have to compete with everybody else in line to see Marvel. Just like last year,
That's the story of every Saturday in Hall H.
Yeah.
It is, but I don't think that the movies this time, in between, and we could talk about it, I don't think they're worth staying, right? Legendary might be interesting. Sin City might be cool, but you don't have the big, Lionsgate or Fox with X-Men, and like they're not the huge AAA panels this time. There's these typically would be like on a Thursday or Friday. But all right. Anyway, anything else on Warner? James, do you want to say anything else on Warner?
I'm just hoping for some DC stuff.
Yeah, me too. They got to do it because right now I'm looking at that and it's like it's exciting, but it's not Comic-Con exciting. Yeah. All right. Next one.
We don't know what they're bringing at 12:25.
So let's talk about this for a second. Yeah, so Legendary is at 12:25. Legendary Pictures is no longer using Warner as their distribution arm. They are using Universal. So, which means they're doing Seventh Son, Warcraft. Those are all going to be Universal Pictures, but also Jurassic World is a Legendary picture, Legendary Studios. So. They've only got in less than an hour, 45 minutes. If they bring Seventh Son, we'll see that again. If they bring Warcraft, which they've already hinted that they will, we'll probably get some footage because they just wrapped production on that. But it doesn't come out until January of 2016.
Yeah.
Right? So we're going to be seeing that one a while if they show it. We heard about the Mass Effect, and then maybe they'll say, oh, look at this teaser for Jurassic World, which would be cool, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
It seems like at 45 minutes we're basically just going to get the Legendary teaser panel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Trailer Park for Legendary.
Right.
Which is a shame because I would love to see a panel for Jurassic World. I would love to see the director come out. What's his name? What did he do? I forgot what else he did, but maybe somebody in the chat, yeah. And Guardians guy. What's his name? I'm drawing a blank today. The main guy, Star-Lord.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. I was thinking Chris Pine. And then he's in it, and Judy Greer's in it, and there's a lot of interesting people. It would be for a fun panel. Maybe bring Spielberg out. It would be awesome. Maybe they still will. Who knows? But it doesn't seem like they're going to save a lot of room for that. So 45 minutes. Don't get too excited. Mike Nelson said Seventh Son was supposed to come out earlier this year. Yep, it got delayed in the when they changed to Universal. All right. Dustin Moss says I would predict a big DC movie announcement to close with a bang unless they have something bigger to close on. Yeah, I think the Warner morning panel they'd actually do a Disney thing, but all right. And then Mike Nelson said Arrow has only been filming for a week, so no footage yet. Okay. All right. Anything else on Legendary?
I was going to say, Luke Evans, who's in that Dracula Untold movie, said ages ago that he'd be at Comic-Con, but he could be there for The Hobbit, he could be there for Dracula Untold, who knows? And that
What's
could have all
Dracula
changed.
Untold? Yeah, I've seen you guys talk about that. What is that movie?
I saw a trailer for it this weekend. It looks like an interesting take. It's basically Dracula back in the medieval times of what he did to become Dracula.
Oh, really?
It's basically like a war
origin
vampire
story.
movie. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Alberto Garcia says, I'm not interested about Jupiter Ascending, but I want to see Tatum. Yeah, that'd be cool. All right. Legendary. Then we go to 1:30, The Box Trolls.
For an hour.
For an hour, man. So Legendary gets 45 minutes. A Box Trolls gets an hour. Now, there's a lot of cool people in this. So we've got Ben Kingsley back. We've got Isaac Hempstead Wright, Ellie Fanning. Is that how you say her name? Elle or Ellie?
Just L.
Elle. And then you got the director and the guy from President Travis Knight and a couple other people involved with the film. Oh, 2 directors. I like the Leica movies personally. Paranorman was one. Caroline was another. They're cool stop-action movies. This one is a focused feature, so it's another one under the arm of Universal. But it's an hour. So Legendary has to fit all these movies in 45 minutes. Box Trolls gets an hour. For
Which
what?
makes no sense, yeah.
I don't know. Box Trolls are doing some other cool stuff around the convention, by the way. They're doing a bug truck or something. They've got some gourmet chef that cooks up bugs.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to do that.
That'll be over. That'll be over at the Petco Park Interactive Zone.
Yeah.
When I was at Universal Studios a month or 2 ago, they have the little, figures from the movie all over the place in that room where they have all the props from movies.
Mm-hmm.
So they look pretty cool. But it's an hour. Why?
Here's hoping we won't be asking that same question once it's over. Why?
No kidding. I mean, but that's a Thursday panel. Like, this is the thing that I'm so confused. So we've seen that whole schedule, and these guys have heard me go on about it. But it's like the panel schedule is just, I'm confounded by it. A lot of these movies on Saturday seem like they could be Thursday or Friday panels, and Thursday and Friday really have nothing. I mean, Friday has the TV shows, but
and Fox.
And Fox.
And
Paramount.
Again, there's Paramount on Thursday, which we don't know what they're bringing yet, but my money is on Mutant Ninja Turtles and Mission Impossible 5.
Why do you say Mission Impossible 5? Have they
Because
even started filming that?
Because the Instagram that Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Is that a real Comic-Con account?
Kim said it was. That's all I know.
Okay. All right. There was a couple other ones. Well, hold on.
Uh-oh.
Well, we'll get through this. Okay. All right. Just looking at the questions. Colin Trevorrow. Thank you, Ivy. Did safety not guaranteed? Yes. I knew you'd come through for us, Ivy. Somebody else said that. Yeah, and then Ivy also said that they're retooling Constantine, so it's probably they're not even going to be showing the whole thing of that. It's probably going to be a Salem screening, Kerry.
My favorite.
They'll hold up a card for 5 minutes to say suspend disbelief. We're back.
Oh,
what just happened? Suspend disbelief. Open your mind. All right. So that's 1:30, the Box Trolls, and then 2:50 is Frank Miller's Sin City: A Dame to Kill For, which is also an hour. But I think this is deservedly an hour. I think
Yeah.
it's
I agree.
It got delayed. Wasn't it supposed to come out last year or earlier this year or something like that?
I don't recall. I'm
Originally,
just looking forward to it. I was actually there for the very first Sin City panel when they started, just before they started filming the movie back in whenever year it was. And it was really cool.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's cool.
They showed the Josh Hartnett short that they put at the beginning of the movie. That was actually.
They showed the whole thing.
Yeah, they showed that whole thing because that was actually footage that they shot, that Robert Rodriguez shot for fun, essentially, in Austin to show Frank Miller what they could do to get him to sign over the rights to make the movie. That was not actually filmed for the movie. It was filmed before he even had the rights to the movie.
That's awesome. That is really cool.
So they showed that.
Cool. Yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, Rodriguez loves Comic-Con, so I think that he's going to come out and show tons of footage and hopefully have a lot of surprises.
Well, there's just a ton of people in that movie. Like, if
Yeah.
they bring even a quarter of them, yeah.
It'll be a great panel.
And Josh Hartnett's already going to be there for Penny Dreadful. Is he in this one? Because I know they kind of switched out some cast. Like Clive Owens got replaced by Josh Brolin, not James Brolin. I got that wrong last time. But I know he's in the movie, so maybe he'll see it. And he came up with something else. Oh, Goonies. So maybe he'll be here for this. I don't know. But that should be a fun one. I'm kind of looking forward to that if I can get in. Then we have the annual Women Who Kick Ass by Entertainment Weekly at 4:10. How do you say her name? Game of Thrones. Maisie Williams.
Maisie
Williams. Katie Seagal from Sons of Anarchy. Tatiana Maslany from Orphan Black. Natalie Dormer of Game of Thrones, and other fearless, and flat-out fantastic females.
They typically have 5 or 6, so it all depends. So they may only have 1 or 2 more that they're going to put on there, but they can't announce because they're showing up for another movie, possibly.
Yeah, last year it was the woman from Walking Dead and Starbuck, and I don't know their names. I just know their characters. Wouldn't that be awesome if they came out in character? Now that's a panel I'd love to stay for. And they
Katie
all
Sackhoff basically did, I think.
They should do that, but in the
she's
most
kind of like
obscure
that in real life, I
character
think. Yeah, I think she's like that in real life. Yeah, Katie Sackhoff is cool. She's fun.
And unless Nerd HQ manages to be at a decent time and I can get a ticket for Orphan Black if they do one, this is the only chance I'll get to see Tatiana Maslany to the whole convention, with the panel being in such a small room and me working that day.
Yeah. Ugh. So that's 4:10, and that is an hour. And then we got Marvel Studios. So what everybody was waiting for.
Yep.
5:30 to 6:30.
Everybody wakes up from their nap.
It's only 1 hour, so we've got 2 things to talk about this. One, it's only an hour. And
It's
2,
always an hour.
But, yeah.
No, it's always an hour.
Always an hour, but there's also an hour-and-a-half gap between this and the Warner Brothers thing. So whether Warner Brothers needed the time to set up or clear the room or whatever,
I think they're expecting a mass exodus, so they need time to get everybody out and then everybody back in.
And they kind of did this last year on Thursday for when they threw Dexter in Hall H on the end of Thursday. There was like an hour gap between whatever the last movie panel was and then Dexter. And basically what they wound up doing was they just threw in a trailer park to fill up the time.
Yeah. So anyway, Marvel. What do we, Kerry? I don't know if you want to talk about it. I mean, I know what's going on with Marvel, but do you want to say a few words about that?
Sure, I can. Mark Ruffalo basically told Collider last month that the whole cast of Age of Ultron is flying in, so I would pretty much expect all the Avengers to be there, and that'll be fun. And then Michael Douglas also confirmed that he, at least, is coming for Ant-Man. We don't know yet who else from Ant-Man will be there, but Michael Douglas for sure will.
Yeah, everybody's asking for Paul Rudd.
Yeah, they are, but we don't know yet if he'll be there. But it's Marvel. I'd expect a couple of surprises, a couple announcements.
Yeah, hey, we're still making Ant-Man.
Surprise!
Remember that whole thing about Ant-Man? Forget about it.
Yeah.
I wonder if the crowd's going to be booing with whatever they say about Ant-Man. Honestly, Have they ever booed anybody? They booed an M. Night movie, right? That Devil or whatever. Didn't they boo that? Have the crowd ever booed a Comic-Con panel?
Not well. I mean, they've probably booed when someone like actually gives in to the questioner who wants a hug or something.
Yeah, they always do that stuff.
I don't even think they boo at that. You just hear everybody silently resent the person at the microphone.
Oh, come on.
Like, I have things to do.
Ask a real question.
Yeah. I could go somewhere with that one. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how the crowd reacts because Edgar Wright is such a fan favorite, and he's no longer with the Ant-Man project, and they announced a director, right? It's kind of like the carousel of directors until they found somebody it stopped on someone. But yeah, and then we'll see if they're going to announce anything post Ant-Man. So
they will. They always do.
Well, there's a rumor. There's a rumor about Doctor Strange and Benedict Cumberbatch, which I don't know if I'm cool with that. But.
They replaced him with Peyton Reed.
Replaced who with who? Oh, the director.
Edgar Wright. Yeah. So Peyton Reed's the director now.
I thought you meant Cumberbatch, and I was like, what?
We erased Cumberbatch from the planet. Introducing Peyton Reed. Your new infatuation, fangirls.
You would hear booing if that happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, you would.
You would hear like souls being sucked out of people. That's what you'd hear. So that's Marvel. Anything more to say about that? You know, they did say something about, I don't know if you said this, Kerry, but they might show some Hulk footage. Did you say that?
Yeah. No, I didn't, but yes, they did tease that.
Yeah, so that'll get the crowd going for sure. And
we got,
then
a question here that because it's actually appropriate for right now is from Melody. Melody Torres.
How early do you guys think we should get in line for the Warner Brother panel at the end of Hall H for the Flash, Arrow, etc.?
We have no clue because this is all new. But
7:30. 7:30.
I agree. I don't think it's gonna fill up.
No, it won't.
It'll be one of those where what'll happen is people will be out. They'll leave the Marvel panel because they haven't showered in 24 hours and they're tired and they're gonna go and they're hungry because they're sick of eating nachos. So they're gonna go home. They're gonna shower. They're gonna eat a good meal, and they're gonna go out in the gas lamp. And then when they come back, they're gonna go, I'm gonna check out the DC thing because it's going on for 3 hours. That is exactly what's gonna happen, I think.
Yeah. So don't worry at all about getting into that.
At least don't worry about it if you just want to be there to watch everything because of so many screens. So
yeah,
it's actually cool. I like the idea. I mean, Saturdays usually I'm just wiped out, and to have something there that's late and that's an event and that everybody is invited to, I'm kind of into that, you know?
I'm actually a little bummed about it. I feel like the centerpiece of Saturday night was always the masquerade. It was always just like classic convention kind of stuff. And now it's, we're just going to have more TV screenings.
Yeah, you are right. They are taking the advantage or the attention away from the masquerade. Yeah.
Masquerade just has so many people going to it, though. It's like there's thousands of people who will need something to do.
Yeah,
does it now? Because I had heard that because the old timers, if you will, of Comic-Con, the old cosplayers that used to go to the masquerade and do all that stuff, they couldn't even get tickets anymore because now it's getting so hot, or so hard to get in that it was like the masquerade was kind of taking a hit because of that. I don't know how true that is, but
I mean, it is hard to get tickets, but you just have to. I mean, you just have to get there really early, like anything else.
No, I mean like Comic-Con.
Just tickets in general.
Running out like the old time cosplayers that go every year, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know how true that is. Yeah. So yeah, Melody says thanks. Hey, no problem. Yeah, this is funny. Alberto Garcia says Edgar Wright. Planet Hulk movie. That'd be cool if we could do a Planet Hulk movie. Dustin Ma, I love this. If we don't boo, we should try chanting Edgar Wright. That would be good. That would be cool. Yeah. We should all cosplay as Edgar Wright. 6,000 Edgar Wrights can't be wrong. There we go. Ivy West says, yeah, but not everyone likes the Masquerade. Programming for the rest of us isn't bad. I agree with you, Ivy. I'm not one for the Masquerade. Show me the highlights on that one. Okay, so we talked about this. Paul Kennedy says, why is there such a long break between Marvel and Warner TV on Saturday? We just think it's just to cycle the room and clean up.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe
I think
spray
so,
some
too.
Febreze on the seats. Right. Mike Nelson says, is this the right link? Yes, it is. All right, we're going to move on. All right, so that's Hall H. Anything about Hall H you guys want to talk about? Are you excited for Hall H on Saturday? Oh, go ahead, James.
Well, yeah, I'll ask you that question in a second. I saw something on the Reddit Comic-Con board the other day about lining up for Hall H.
Ah.
A couple of good tips. Not about times, but about placement. And basically, it gets really spread out. So if you get in line and you're down by the marina, there's a chance you're still going to get in the room. When it condenses, if you're on the lawn, when it condenses, you're in the room.
Yep.
So don't worry about the time so much. I mean, obviously, what time you get in depends on where you are. But when you get through the condensing and you get all the way up to the lawn, stay in line. If you're still back a ways and you are like, well, should I wait and see? That's at the point where you have to make a decision. You know what? If you're not on the lawn, there's a chance you're not going to get in because it doesn't have a lot of turnover.
Yeah.
So that's when you make the decision to go to Plan B.
Mm-hmm.
And Kerry, what
That's
time
right.
does the line usually condense? Because usually there's like 7 or 8.
It's like
No.
6:37.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
early.
dawn. It was dawn last year,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
5:36 a.m.
Yeah.
I know that
Benjamin
because
Watts
I had
actually
just
said
laid down to try and get an hour of sleep, and I had 10 minutes of sleep.
Yeah.
I think it depends on how long the line is too, right? When they
Yes.
start condensing it, if they start running
Yeah,
out of
it-
space.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, generally, though, it's been moving earlier and earlier. And it's the same in Ballroom 20. Like, I think they actually let us not into, like, Ballroom 20, but inside the convention center last year at, like, 6:30, 7 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll let you in and just let you sit there for a while, which is good
Yeah.
and bad. It's freezing in there. So like, and the chairs aren't that comfortable. So you're like, I don't know what's better or worse. But I did some rudimentary math and I kind of figured out how many people across each lane and how many deep each lane in the plaza, and then counted that up by the distance, and figured out that if you were on the lawn, when it condenses, you can make it into Hall H. Anybody in the overflow, which means if you're across the street by the Hilton, and then as it starts wrapping around, after it condenses, good luck getting in, because after that you'll probably move to the front, and you'll be surprised. There will be a little bit of cycling in the room. People will leave between these panels. Not everybody's there from Marvel. It seems like that. But there is some turnover, and people will leave and let a little bit in at a time.
But not much.
Not a lot.
But
Not a lot.
If it's like, dozens and hundreds, not like a whole shoot or 2 shoots or whatever. It's not a lot.
Yeah, you might move a half a shoot, if at best. But if you're close and it's early morning, and you want to chance it, and you don't mind missing anything else, and you're having fun out on the lawn, then by all means stay there, and maybe you'll get in for Marvel. Let's see, Laura Byrne, Cristiano. Hi, Laura. She said I was on the island at the marina last year for Friday for Hall H at 4 a.m. Made it inside for the second panel. Wow, look at that, on the island. That's way back. That's crazy.
That should tell you how far back and how spread out people get.
Yeah.
Wow, Alberto Garcia says, last 2 years I've been in line since 6, 7 a.m. for Hall H and still got in. On Saturday? That doesn't sound right. But I'm not questioning you. That could happen.
Just in the room, though. That's not, good seat, probably.
Right. Let's see, Dustin Moss says, because the fact everyone is going to clear out, would WB risk the exposure of first panel for big DC announcement? Maybe.
You mean?
I mean, I think
the
they'll
nighttime one?
have better attendance in that first panel. That's what
Yeah.
I think personally. So if they want to, but if they want to, it'd be interesting if they said, we're going to show exclusive like they say it in the morning. Come back for the evening panel because we're going to show some exclusive footage of Batman versus Superman.
I mean, that'd be
That'll
smart.
get people back. That would get people back.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
I'm
there you go.
actually contemplating being in Hall H from beginning to end. So.
And being 11 p.m. that
Yeah.
end.
Yep. I don't have to get up Sunday morning.
I might do that.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I think we've got. Oh, this is interesting. So Jana Cooney. Somebody else said this too. Maybe it was you, Jana, or Jana. Somebody who went last year said something about them giving out wristbands so you can come and go into Hall H. You know anything about this so-called wristband? Wristbands? I don't remember wristbands. Does not
I've never
exist.
seen that.
The only wristbands I've ever seen are on panelists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've never seen any bathroom pass for Hall H, never seen any wristband. Every year somebody claims that they had one, but in 10 years of going, I've never seen one.
This might be a good time to talk, though. So, you guys, and I know the answer, but within Hall H, since there is no bathroom pass, how do you get food in a bathroom break?
There's a little food section out in the lobby that is cordoned off so you can go out and back in, and there's a bathroom inside Hall H.
Yeah, but two things for that. Okay, so the bathroom gets really rank really fast.
Yeah.
Because I think people like to shower in the stalls somehow.
The ladies' room
water
line is
bottles,
just always
perhaps?
impossibly long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like if you go into those bathrooms in Hall H, the floor is like nasty, sticky, and half flooded and nastiness, right? It just smells like a gym. And the food, if you go out in the Hall H area, you're only getting nachos pretty much, nachos and popcorn, right? Food for the gods. So, but what you can do though, and this is what happened to me last year, James. So right after the X-Men panel, I had to charge my camera. You can actually leave Hall H. They'll give you bathroom passes that you can then go into the convention center proper. Okay, so you know the area in between, in the concourse.
Right.
They'll give you a ticket, and you can go there. And from there, as long as you're back by the end of that panel, because that's how the bathroom passes work, you can go anywhere. Kerry, last year when I was in Ballroom 20, I don't remember what panel I left. It's probably Beauty and the Beast. I actually ran back to my hotel to get a new battery or something and then come back.
Yeah. I use that for actually using the bathroom in the lobby because the one inside Hall H was so bad, and I think it actually was closed at the time.
Yeah. It's nasty. So you do have that option. And if you leave, you can also get, decent food. I wouldn't call anything decent, but
better food. Let's go with that.
lesser two evils.
Larissa just asked the question, can we bring in food? And of course you can.
Yes,
you
and
can
do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely do it.
Grateful that you did it.
Yeah. Yeah, we should we should talk about that a little bit because Hall H is going to be, and we've talked about kind of camping, but Saturday Hall H is the big camping day, and I always bring. I mentioned this before, but I'll go to Ralph's and I'll buy apples, bananas, some cereal, some wheat thins, some baggies, and I'll just package everything up and bring it with me, some Smart Waters, and so I'll have snacks that I can work on through the whole day. If I have those in my backpack or my messenger bag or whatever, I can snack on those. I don't have to worry about running out to get nachos. Now last year I was like, I've never had these nachos in Hall H, and I'm totally getting some. And I totally regretted it, so I'm not doing it again. But,
you can just smell other people's nachos. It's like more than enough. I don't need any more than that.
Well, that's what I was like. Every year I'm sitting in Hall H, I'm like, oh my God, those nachos smell so good. And then so last year I'm like, dude, I'm getting some of those nachos. And I went and I was like, never doing that again. So anyway, yeah, food is very recommended. Okay, great questions, guys. Great questions. Okay, let's go.
Is that Hall H?
With... That's Hall H. I mean,
Hall H.
all right. So this is the question that I have for you guys. Are you excited about the Hall H panel on Saturday?
No, but I never am.
Yeah, same.
All right. Well, that's
You're not the target audience.
to
Yeah.
qualify. Okay.
It's up to me then.
Yeah, me and James.
I am cautiously optimistic, not excited.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited to see The Hobbit for the final time. I'm excited to see Sin City because I enjoyed the first one, and I'm excited to see Marvel. But overall, those are things that have been there before, so it's not nothing. It's not new and exciting.
Right.
It's just I'm looking forward to seeing that stuff again, but again, I want to see something really exciting, and I hope someone brings it.
James, you took the words right out of my mouth because of The Hobbit. And you guys know I'm not a huge fan of that first Hobbit movie. The second one was much better, but you're right. We saw The Hobbit already. And I think that's the problem that plagues a lot of these panels in general at Comic-Con is we've seen X already, right? It's like when you have TV shows that are the 5th or 10th season and they're coming to Comic-Con every year, they're going to get slot X and they're going to be there and whatever. And there's not a lot of surprises, right? So, yes, we're going to see The Hobbit. Yes, we know all how it ends. We know everything. They're going to come out and they're going to say, yay, and we're going to clap, and we're going to be, we're going to go see the movie. And it's going to be like, okay, give me something new. Give me something that I haven't heard of or exciting or something that hasn't been there. Last year we had Tom Cruise. He's never been to Comic-Con. Last year we had Gravity, which was something like nobody had ever seen before. And Sandra Bullock, her first trip to Comic-Con, and it was amazing, right? It was that was a big spectacle. We had the first footage of Godzilla, which we only had a teaser trailer the year before. Warcraft, all this stuff. It's like if you look at some of these things, okay, I'm lukewarm about it. Some of these things we've seen before, but show me something new. So
I will say though, if you were looking at the 2013 schedule at this time last year, you wouldn't have known like 80% of those things were going to happen.
No, not until a couple days before. You're right.
Again, that's why I'm cautiously optimistic that the studios that are in there will still bring the stuff that they have brought in the past that made it exciting. But
I'm totally hopeful to see like new box trolls that I haven't heard of before. Because that, it's like I've seen box trolls, but new box trolls. That would totally make my day.
Jeremy, I can't wait for you to say that when they're doing the panel for Box Trolls 4 in a couple of years.
Yeah, right. A new box troll to show you. Exclusive.
Is it the variant or the chase box troll?
Hey, here's a good question. Stephanie Carriot says Josh isn't having his annual panel. I totally just realized that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also in the middle of filming a movie.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest reason he's not doing it this year.
Okay. But do you think he'll be at the Marvel panel? Could he be in the Visionaries panel?
I think possible.
He'll be at the Marvel. If they're flying everybody, he's going to be there.
Not at the Visionaries. He'll be probably filming until they leave to come to Comic-Con, probably.
Yeah.
This Avengers thing is throwing a real kink in his Comic-Con schedule.
Seriously. He can't bring his pretty princess pink backpack and walk around the con floor like he used to anymore.
I know. We're not going to have any good Joss stories this year.
No.
I don't know. All right. Hey, Scott. I just want to say this. Scott says, "Love the shirt. You can get one too." He can.
Yes, you can tomorrow. Actually.
Mike Nelson
you can order
says.
one.
Yeah, Mike Nelson says Hall H is like the box office revenge of sequels, nothing new. Yeah, but show me some sequels that I want to that I'm interested in.
Some new sequels.
Scott Mueller also says the nachos make me have to use the bathroom. Yes. Oh, this is cool. Dustin Moss said last year we got pizza delivered during Women Who Kick Ass panel. So that's cool. I like that. And besides, Christopher Lee is coming to Comic-Con. Is he? That would be cool. I would like that. I think he's kind of old for that. Isn't he like real old or sick or something? All right.
No, he's going strong.
Cool. I love Christopher Lee.
He is old, but...
Dooku. It's Count Dooku. All right.
Excuse you.
Yeah. All right.
The family show.
Yeah, we've been going way on about Hall H. Kerry's dying to get to Ballroom 20, so I'm going to let you have it.
Okay.
Between you and Sarah. You guys can talk about it.
I guess I'll start.
Yeah, do it to it.
Sure.
Flip a coin.
Okay. All right.
I need a coin.
So on Saturday morning, thank God, the Fox animation block that has happened every year is finally getting a little bit broken up.
Yeah.
Normally they show like 4 back-to-back panels, and I'm sure that's great if you're into it, but if you're not...
in the middle of the day.
Yeah, it's awful.
Like, please, yeah.
Awful. But instead, starting this year at 2 a.m., we have The Simpsons, which is kind of cool, because I think that's actually usually the last panel in previous years for the Fox animation stuff. And then after that, at 11 a.m., we've got Once Upon a Time, which is bringing a couple cast members, including Lana Parrilla, Josh Dallas, Amelia De Raven, and Colin O'Donoghue, and Jared Gilmore.
Say that fast 3 times.
No, thank you.
All you had to say was Once Upon a Time, Elsa, and Anna.
Yeah,
That's
basically.
what they're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, but that's basically, if you read the panel description, it's Once Upon a Time has frozen over. So expect them to be pushing the Frozen stuff really hard this year.
Not to derail us, but you know how they do all the awesome stuff in Hall H, like Warner Brothers, and they put all the stuff on the walls and stuff? Wouldn't that be awesome if they did a Frozen theme thing in Ballroom 20?
It would be cool.
Like, Frozen
thing. You mean like it is when you first walk in?
Yeah, I was going to say, besides turning down the air conditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't that be cool? I would love to see that.
They don't have to. The sheer number of Elsa cosplayers that will show up will take care of all their atmosphere theming.
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's going to be ridiculous.
There's going to be a Let It Go sing-along. I swear there will be.
I'm sure there will. I'm sure you're exactly correct.
Ones, yeah. But Once Upon a Time is actually usually really popular. So if you wanted to get into that, I'd plan on lining up kind of early. I think after that, it's not going to clear out for the TV Guides panel because Colin O'Donoghue is on that as well, which he plays Hook in the show. But basically, TV Guide every year in Ballroom 20, though occasionally in other rooms, they'll get just a whole bunch of random people that the fans like, and this year it's him and then Misha Collins, Sam Hugan from Outlander, who we haven't seen that yet, Aisha Tyler, and others. Just like with the Women Who Kick Ass, there's normally like 5 or 6 panelists, so I'd expect a couple more people to get announced. And I'd also like to point out, because I saw somebody talking about this earlier, the fact that Colin O'Donoghue is on this panel means that he's not going to be at the Once Upon a Time signing over at the ABC booth because
that happens right after.
Yeah, they're at the same time. And then after that, we've got 2 more Fox animation shows: Family Guy and American Dad. And then after that is Grimm, which is bringing out a whole bunch of people. And they said that they shot some footage specifically for the Comic-Con crowd, which usually that means it's just not a scene that'll be in the show. It's just something kind of fun that they'll show to the Ballroom 20 crowd. And then after that, Vampire Diaries, which is always huge.
Yeah.
And they're bringing out the main 3 again. And then at 5 o'clock, we have the last panel, presumably ever, for True Blood, because this is going to be the last season. And they're bringing out, again, just about everybody.
Cool.
And that's Ballroom 20.
All right, so I want to ask you a couple questions.
Sure.
Who just drew in my head? All right, so one, Halia 3 says, how early do we need to get in line for Once Upon a Time?
I would plan on being there before they let people into inside, so probably like 6 a.m. at the latest.
Whoa. That's early.
Which is then your answer for the question about The Simpsons, because obviously you're going to fight with those people.
So let me ask you this, because we always talk about room contention. You don't think that Hall H will pull people away from this?
I think the crowd who's going to care about Once Upon a Time is not going to care about what's in Hall H.
Do you think the crowd for Once Upon a Time is 3,000 people?
Yes.
Yeah, I do. I mean, this panel is always packed. It's always like everybody gets super excited about this, and you also have to consider the Vampire Diaries and True Blood people care an awful lot about their shows, and they're going to be getting there in the morning too to camp out all day long for those shows.
Yeah, these are some people who are buying tickets to the con just for this one show that they like.
Exactly. So you're going to have people showing up at like 2 in the morning for True Blood, which isn't until 5 p.m. So
Yeah. Tom Jones asked where I got the banners. I climbed up the light pole. God, no, I'm kidding. eBay. There you go. I think that's illegal, right? All right, real quick. So this is what I want to say. I'm looking at the panel schedule for Ballroom 20 on Saturday. There is not a single show on here that has not been at Comic-Con before. And as a matter of fact, there is not a single show on here that hasn't been to Comic-Con in the past 3 years, or a panel in the past 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Is that
4 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is and this is what plagues the schedule in my mind, is that it's fatigue. It's the same shows coming back every single year.
Yeah,
we know
but
that
this
True
year,
Blood is every year on a Saturday. You know?
well, it won't be next year because it'll be
won't.
over. And I mean, yes, I completely agree with that, but they have changed it up a little bit. Like I said, at least we don't have the 4 back-to-back.
Yeah, but it's the same shows. I don't care
yes,
what
it
order
is.
I
do.
Right.
But
Would have been
Okay.
nice to see some of those small room shows from previous days in this room this day, and put these ones in those small rooms.
yeah, and
sure.
Yeah, seriously.
yeah, And just to
It's confounding. It's like some of these shows, again, just like with Hall H, some of them could have been moved over on other days when there was nothing on Hall H, like a Thursday or a Friday. These things as well, move these to some of the smaller rooms,
Yeah.
because that's probably what they're going to attract, and bring some of the bigger shows here. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they know what they're doing, right? They've been doing this for years, and they know what they're doing with the panel schedule and programming. And who am I to play armchair quarterback? But looking at this from a fan's perspective doesn't make any sense.
no, I completely agree.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I,
politics.
Yeah, the only thing that you have to deal with on their side is obviously when the studios make the people available,
Right.
What they request for a certain time period, things like that then they have to play with.
Yeah, and we talked about maybe they like studios or networks or certain shows or production companies claim a certain spot every year, and then they grandfathered in. So that could be. Hey, real quick, Kerry, is this the last year for Once Upon a Time?
no,
No, somebody said that.
no, it's
Nope.
not. It's the last year for True Blood.
Yeah, don't scare people.
No, I agree. And again, it's still not letting me click on questions, but just to answer a question that Robert W. asked a while ago, do you still wait outside with general line for Ballroom 20 until they let everyone into the convention center? Yes, you do. It's basically right outside the sign for, it says D in the morning. There's a line that'll start stretching back.
Yeah.
And then once they let everyone into the convention center, you're going to go up the escalator, follow the crowd. You'll be led outside and then into this little twisty, turny turnstile thing that goes on forever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's-
Two lines.
there's two lines.
One for Hall H, one for everything else, and that gets
Yeah.
divided.
Yeah, make
Yeah.
sure you're in the right line, because every
Yeah.
year there's someone who's like, wait, this is for Ballroom 20, and you're like, nope, you're in the Hall H line. Oh, bye, and they have to climb over ropes. So.
Or you're in the volunteer line, which is even worse. Oh, Mike Nelson says, I remember when Grimm and Once were back-to-back in a small room for their pilots. Crowd gets bigger every year. Yeah, they were in like 6BCF or 6A or something like that. I remember that. Somebody else says something. Ivy said something. Where's Ivy's comment? But anyway, here we go. But you guys are talking about how insanely popular Once, True Blood, and Vampire Diaries are. Why would those go to smaller rooms? We're not talking about those. We're talking about the other ones.
Like American Dad. Send that away.
Yeah, get rid of the other ones. If you want to get popular shows in the big room, put them in the big room. Don't put them in small rooms and put smaller shows in the big room.
I agree. Well, and like I mean, the TV Guide magazine fan favorites, that's moved around several times. That's been in Indigo some years. It's been in Ballroom 20 some years. Like, why not put that in Indigo?
Wasn't it Hall H? No, Visionaries is.
Yeah, I don't think the fan favorites has been. But, like, why not put that in Indigo and bring Sleepy Hollow to Ballroom 20, you know?
Yeah, and how many people are in those inflating the animation block shows? How many people are actually there for those, or are they waiting for Vampire Diaries and True Blood?
Yeah.
You know, the room is packed, but why? So move them every once in a while, maybe, and see if that helps. But again, you know, what can you do? Let the schedule makers do what they have to do in order to get everything in there.
So do you think the Hall H crowd will pull away from Ballroom 20 at all? I mean,
no.
Okay.
Not really.
No.
Like I said, I mean, it's not the same crowd.
All right. Emily Escalona Hi, Emily. She says, do you think people will clear out after Simpsons?
No.
Not much.
No,
I mean,
because they're not there. What we're saying is they're not going to be there for Simpsons. They're going to be
No.
there for everything else afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer, because it's a big year for The Simpsons, their 25th anniversary, but they don't really seem to be doing a whole ton of stuff for it. So.
Yeah. I think you're going to have a little bit of turnover probably after that TV Guide fan favorites panel. Like I said, the only reason I say that instead of Once Upon a Time is just because one of the most popular guys on Once Upon a Time is on that second panel. So I think after that there will be a little bit of turnover. But from that point on, like, everybody in that room is basically there for Vampire Diaries and True Blood.
Yeah, and also take advantage, I will say this, take advantage of knowing the schedule, because a lot of people will go in there and they'll know what they're there for, but they have no idea what's in there after that. And sometimes they'll just leave. So know your schedule. You know, that's why we're doing this. Look at the panel schedule, go through everything, go through which stars or which shows or which movies you want to see. Make sure you're there for that, because some people just say, oh, well, that's it, I'm leaving, and then they miss all the great stuff. All right. Anything else on Ballroom 20?
Nope.
And then we have well,
there's the Masquerade at 8:30.
Masquerade at 8:30.
Yeah. But we already talked about that.
Yeah. All right, we're going down to Indigo. Indigo.
Do you want to take this one, Sarah?
Yeah, go for it, Sarah.
Sure. So, Saturday in the Indigo starts with some Cartoon Network panels. I guess instead of having an animation block at 10 a.m. in Ballroom 20, we're going to do a Cartoon Network animation block in the Indigo. So that works great for you if you really like Cartoon Network shows. They're going to start with Steven Universe. The creator's coming. They've got some other crew coming, a little bit of the cast. Are they doing a screening of it? Doesn't say. Exclusive content. So enjoy the exclusive content, Steven Universe fans. Followed by regular show. That should probably have a decent sized crowd. That's pretty popular.
Mm-hmm.
Regular show with the creator, some of the cast, more of the crew. So kind of the same thing. That's generally who Cartoon Network seems to drag with them.
Mm-hmm.
Then
are those big enough, you think, for Indigo? Where was regular show at before? Is that an Indigo?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know
it's popular. I don't know if it's that popular.
It's popular enough to have 2 panels. Actually,
I feel like everything Cartoon Network has double panels this year.
Well, I know,
last year Adventure Time, and then you've got like 3 or 4.
Yeah, like 3 years ago, I was at an Adventure Time panel, and it was in 6 BCF or 6A, one of those. And I think regular show was sharing it, so it wasn't in a big room back then. Maybe because it was new, but Indigo seems big for that. But there you go.
Well, let's look. Regular show last year was in Indigo Ballroom.
Yep. All right. Okay. All right.
Well,
Anybody know
cool,
if that filled the room? Let us know. All right. Go ahead, Sarah.
12 o'clock starts the sci-fi block, right? So we're going to go into sci-fi's Helix, followed by Defiance. Those will both be... I wouldn't expect a lot of turnover between the two, just because I feel like sci-fi fans are not science fiction. Sci-fi. Sci-fi fans are sci-fi fans.
Who doesn't love Sci-fi?
Right.
I can't believe that's their name now. But anyway, so they're bringing some cast for both. So you should enjoy that. Followed by a Hulu show. Hulu is here again with The Awesomes. That's Seth Meyers' show. Mm-hmm. So he'll drag out Seth Meyers from New York and some of the other SNL alums that are on that show with him as well.
Like Taran Killam, yeah.
Taran Killam, yes, who is also has written a comic book. So, you know, he's not new to the convention scene. So good for him.
Wait, what? Who? What?
Taran
Really?
Killam.
Yeah,
he wrote a comic book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They were at New York Comic Con last year promoting that.
And he'll be promoting that at this Comic Con as well.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Sarah.
You would think so. It's all comics, right? There's nothing but comics.
Comic-Con, something about that?
Chris Hardwick is on at 3 o'clock for the Nerdist panel. He's the only person mentioned. No idea if who else from the Nerdist network will be there.
Is he moderating that one?
Can he moderate himself? Can you moderate yourself?
Yes, he moderates the Nerdist panels. I saw one at WonderCon, and he moderates.
Does he ask himself questions?
Excuse you, they're Quements. They're Quements at Nerdist events.
They're what?
Quements. It's questions and comments combined into one word. It's a portmanteau.
Only at a Nerdist panel would they come up with that word like that. All right.
So ask your comments at 3. 4
Okay.
o'clock is John Barrowman, which,
Yeah.
as
Should be
usual,
right.
is just John Barrowman on stage being John Barrowman. I mean, if you
he
like
did it
his
last
sense of
year.
humor. Yeah, he's done it before.
Yeah,
And,
James, you saw him at the Nerdist live show a couple years ago. You had some pretty
Yeah.
funny stories about that.
Yeah.
Oh, were you at that show, James? I was at that too.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. You know the one of the girls, the well-endowed girl who had some things going on up front? Yeah,
Yes,
that was
yes.
one of my friends.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That was a good show.
Yeah, it was. That was a pretty bad. There was some bad stories. One
Yeah,
really
some
bad
things
story.
that are not appropriate for a family-friendly podcast happened at that event. So they might happen again at Anything Goes with John Barrowman.
Don't take
You
your
never
children
know.
to that one. Yeah.
And then before the day closes out with Geek and Sundry, they're going to wedge in this panel that I expect most of the people in the room will sleep through, called The Digital Revolution, the convergence of television and the internet. Honestly, it's a bunch of, if for some reason you're interested in the business side of the industry, you'll probably get a kick out of this. They're going to talk about like release windows and...
What are they
but
doing
honestly,
in this?
I have no idea
I'm
why this is
sorry.
going to go.
Yeah. What are they
Just
doing?
absolutely no clue. Like, I spoke on a panel related to this at a convention earlier this year, and there were 10 people in the room. So I don't understand why this would be an Indigo. It baffles me. So everybody who's waiting for Geek and Sundry, please enjoy your nice nap from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then enjoy Felicia Day breaking down what's happening on Geek and Sundry
That
for
should
the
be
next
fun.
year or so.
I've
Yeah,
never
that should
seen
be
a Geek and
interesting.
Sundry panel, but is Will Wheaton going to be at that one too?
I don't believe he's listed. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean he couldn't show up, but he's not
Right.
listed.
That would be fun. Oh, by the way, Angie Liam said Adventure Time and regular show were back-to-back in Indigo, so it was pretty full last year. But what made one full? Was it Adventure Time or regular show? Or both? I don't know. But, okay. That's a good breakdown.
So how do you think people are going to clear the room, or are they?
I
Sarah?
don't think Helix is that popular. Helix and Defiance are popular enough to fill the room.
I don't think they are either necessarily, but I mean, if you're there for either Helix or Defiance, then get there for Helix, because if for some reason they're full, I wouldn't expect a ton of turnover between those two. Same thing with the Cartoon Network. They kind of programmed this in blocks.
Yeah, I think
so
Cartoon
you can just come for a
Network
pair of
folks are going to
panels.
be there. Yeah, and then they're going to leave, and then the sci-fi people are going to come in, then they're going to leave, and then Awesomes or people are going to be like, I don't have Hulu, I've never seen the show, and then they're going to be Nerdist.
Yeah.
And then
The Nerdist people are going to probably be the ones who stay and through Geek and
for
Sundry, 'cause that's kind of the same crowd.
they're going to be Nerdist, Barrowman, and Geek and Sundry. They're not going to move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But,
that's Indigo Ballroom, which that's actually the last day of programming for Indigo.
What do you guys think? If you were to grade it, right? Maybe we should start doing this. A, B, C, D, F. What would you grade Indigo for Saturday?
I'd actually give it a B.
I would too.
That high?
Yeah, I'd give it at least a B minus, because that 5 o'clock panels will be dragging down the average.
Yeah, but you've got
Yes.
some good shows, and you got Barrowman, and you got Geek and Sundry, so...
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, I haven't seen the shows, but I hear people talk about them who enjoy them. So
Yeah. All right.
I'm sure they'll be
Fair
good panels for the people who enjoy them.
I'll
I
go
think
B
there's-
minus. Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't go C plus. All right. Do we have any questions about Indigo? No questions about Indigo. People are like, "Where's that?"
Looking like not very much interest.
There's Tom Jones, Nerdist, a family-friendly podcast? Not in the slightest. Dustin Moss said Taron Gilliam wrote the Illegitimates. It's based on all the kids that James Bond would really have. That sounds kind of funny.
Yeah, and he's already said he'll be there promoting that, so.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, nobody cares about Indigo.
Let's move on to 6BCF then.
There are thousands who care, Jeremy. Thousands.
They're just not watching this.
Right.
They're just not going to Comic-Con either. All right, let's move to 6ABC, shall we?
BCF.
BCF.
Yeah.
I just made up a room. 6ABC BF. All right. All right, BCF, Marvel Animation Presents. So I got this wrong last podcast. So before it was Marvel Television, which had everything. Now Marvel Television is just Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter and Daredevil or whatever the Netflix show.
Possibly.
Yep. And then Marvel Animation is all the Disney XD stuff. So thank you for breaking it up. But I don't think this one's going to be that popular. I mean, it's half popular. Actually, I'm looking at BCF. Besides Batman and Cup of Joe, Constantine. All right, I take that back.
Person of Interest gets a couple people too.
Adam and Jamie will be
All right, go in order. Let's go.
All right, let's go. Animation, half full, right? But let's see if they're going to be there for other ones. Quick Draw. If it's Quick Draw McGraw, I'd be there. But
it's fun, though. It is fun.
I know it's a classic. I know it's a classic, but
I'd rather a Disney artist is going to be joining them this year.
Cool.
I'd rather see Quick Draw McGraw. What can I say? El Kabong.
Hey, that's the next one. Cartoon voices.
Yep.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Mark Evan here. Jim Cummings, Winnie the Pooh. Oh, Winnie the Pooh? Jim Cummings?
Yeah, Jim Cummings. He also was like Monterey Jack back in Rescue Rangers and a whole bunch of other things. He's awesome.
Darkwing Duck?
Probably.
Josh Keaton, Sherry Lynn, Arif S. Kinchin. I don't know who these people are. Colleen O'Shaughnessy.
But I bet you'd know their voices.
Probably. To be honest with you, probably half of them I wouldn't either, because a lot of them. Believe me, I have kids. I watch a lot of cartoon shows, and a lot of them all sound the same. Now, if it was like the real Winnie the Pooh, yes, I know who he is. Droopy, I know who that guy is, right? Magilla Gorilla, I know who Magilla Gorilla is. You know, Scooby Doo. You know, if it was Fred Wilker,
Frank Welker.
Frank Welker, I would know who he is. But Frank Welker doesn't like to make appearances because he doesn't like to.
Because he's always working.
He is. He
Have
totally
you
is.
seen his IMDb? He's going to be the first person ever to have 1,000 listings on IMDb.
By the way, I want to say this because Jeremy is the resident old cartoon fan,
Yes.
right? I'm probably the only one that's listening right now. But so it's a big Ghostbusters 30th anniversary. There is zip on the panel schedule for all 4 days of anything Ghostbusters. Now I was thinking, you know, maybe they would bring Ghostbusters animated, like the real Ghostbusters, because you know who worked on that, guys? J. Michael Straczynski. Like that has some comic cred to it, and you know, Fred Welker was one of the voices, and you know, like do a cool reunion panel for that. Do something with Ghostbusters. There's nothing Ghostbusters on it. That's my
There's two things.
What? Like a fan. How to dress like a Ghostbuster and how to make Ghostbuster origami. Like that's
1984's greatest geek movies, so it's a part of a panel of talking about movies from that year.
Oh joy!
And then some Maddie Paloozas. There's some Ghostbusters toys coming apparently.
I like that. That's the best James could do. Was
that's it.
Control F Ghostbusters on the schedule and see where it's hidden.
Which, you know what's really funny? That's what probably Ghostbusters the 29th anniversary had too. So, I mean, yeah, it's like, come on, you know? Maybe I should have submitted it. Oh, here we go. Ivy says, if you've never been to Quick Draw and Cartoon Voices, you're missing out. I
agree.
I am pissed. It's on Saturday when I'm going to be stuck at the Bayfront all day.
Like, seriously, if you've never been to these are hysterical.
They're fun. They're fun.
That should be your plan B if you don't make it into H or Ballroom 20.
Yes, go here.
Make that your plan B.
Like, you will have fun.
Because it's always the things that you're not expecting that make your Comic-Con. I've always said that. Jana says you guys are cracking me the hell up. Good. This is therapeutic. This is therapeutic. Scott says, hey, I'm watching this. Cool. I just wanted to say that because it was like, all right, let's move on. 6A?
All right, let's.
I think
Wait,
6A is
we're done.
To be honest,
let me take over. I'm taking over.
Thank
Take
you.
it, James.
So after Quick Draw's Cartoon Voices, which again, as we said, is usually awesome. Then
Yes.
Marvel Cup of Joe, which is basically the top brass and other people at Marvel who talk about the coming year in Marvel and what you can expect.
Yeah.
Joe Quesada. I remember when he was running his own little comic company with Jimmy Palmiotti called Event Comics back in the day. Yeah. And then DC
What about
Entertainment.
the olden days, James?
I know. That was only like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. It's not that old. Then at 4 is DC Entertainment, Batman's 75th anniversary. Looks like it's got some cool people on it. Kevin Conroy, Paul Dini, Bruce Timm, Peter Girardi, Jeff Johns, Ralph Garman, and some surprises. So this one looks like it'd be pretty cool too for Batman fans.
It's probably just as cool as the Superman one last year, which was cool. So.
No, it has Kevin Conroy, so it's going to be better.
Well, and it's worth mentioning, last year when DC did this for Superman, Henry Cavill actually stopped by.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't
So
stop by for Hall H, but he stopped by for that.
That's right.
Will Batfleck be in town?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
But some surprise guest, that could actually be awesome.
Hey,
That
wasn't there a panel? Wasn't there going to be a panel for that that Nicolas Cage Superman movie documentary? That would have been cool. But anyway, I was thinking about maybe Nicolas Cage would crash this. I don't know why that just popped in my mind.
He crashed it as a fan
cool.
because he loves comics. That's
Right.
about it.
That would be cool. Nicolas
Yeah.
Cage.
That would be cool.
Invite. Crash away.
At 5:15 is Constantine.
Which is showing the pilot.
Yeah, but everybody's. I don't know where people are getting this, but they're saying that they're still working it, so they're not going to show the whole thing.
Well, but that was in Hall H. This one is called Constantine Pilot Screening and Q&A.
It literally says attendees will see a screening of the complete pilot.
Thank you,
But
Sarah.
remember, the pilot is not the show.
It's not
So-
called the semi-pilot.
I mean, it could change. They could
It's
show
not-
you an earlier version, but
It's not
Yeah.
the co-pilot.
It's not the almost pilot.
it's not the flight engineer. It's the pilot, guys.
Yes.
It's not the
And they're
pilot,
bringing-
which
it
is
looks like they're-
pilot. Yeah.
So basically, who knows if they're going to show the full thing in Hall H? But you can find it over here.
They're going to show.
It says the stars Matt Ryan, Harold Perrineau, Charles Halford, producers Daniel Cerrone and David S. Goyer. Goyer's in town.
You love
That
Goyer.
bodes well for announcements in Hall H.
You love the Goyer.
Yeah, love the Goyer. Sarcasm alert. Then it's
Just
15.
responsible for awesome things such as stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Person of interest at 6:15 special video presentation and Q&A. There are fans of the show.
And the only
it looks
reason
like
that comes back is because it's a J.J. Abrams show. Let's be honest.
Right.
It's been a bubble show. It has nothing to do with Comic-Con, but it draws a... Oh, it's J.J. Abrams has got the guy from Lost in it. That's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know?
That's all it
And
takes.
then- yeah, pretty much. It's actually a short panel too. It looks like it's only a 45-minute panel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we have actually a lot of these are only 45 minutes, aren't they? Wait. Oh no. Okay. The Constantine is an hour, so the Q&A will be pretty short for that one.
Yeah.
They usually are, yeah.
7:15 is Adam and Jamie Do-It-Yourself Superheroes. It's basically
Mythbusters, yeah.
the Mythbusters talking about stuff that's cool and nothing blows up probably.
I have never seen a Mythbusters panel.
Oh, they're good.
They're always so packed. I never tried.
Yeah,
I
they're
always
so
want
crowded.
I always want dinner. They're always at the time where it's like dinner.
Yeah, right. It's time for dinner. It's
Well, you're not
Saturday
thinking about
night.
dinner when you get in line for it at 2:30, because that's like the time you used to have to get in line.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But this isn't really a Mythbusters panel, so this is them talking about creation and
Well, yes.
Creation?
yeah, well, creating stuff.
Oh, okay.
But
They're getting all biblical on us.
The maker culture.
I gotcha.
my understanding, though, is the only reason they don't call these the Mythbuster panels anymore is because whatever network it's on didn't want to bring them anymore. And so they were like, well, we still want to come, so they just started bringing themselves. But they can't call it the
Discovery or
Mythbusters panel. Yeah,
Huh, interesting.
basically. So it is basically the Mythbusters panels, just without the name.
And then we got annual Spike and Mike after that.
The Classic Festival of Animation at 8:30. Not
Classic.
the Sick and Twisted, the Classic.
And yeah, what happened to that? And then it's
No,
not
that's the night before.
it's not the animation from hell or whatever it was called from the day before.
Apparently, you're going to get an
Worst
extra
cartoons ever.
bonus. You're going to get glow-in-the-dark hand clappers. We'll be giving
Woo!
Yeah.
Which you can use
Yeah.
to annoy people in future panels. Woo!
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
You can use those to remove yourselves from future panels.
Wow, guys.
Excuse me, sir, will you come with me?
Not
Bring your
even 2
stupid
weeks
hands
out,
with you.
we've already discovered the piece of swag that we will hate the most.
Yeah, all right. So let's talk about when you get in line for any of this stuff. Like, do you think any of these are going to be crowded? Constantine?
Yes.
I don't think Constantine's going to be crowded.
I don't
to be
think
honest with you.
Constantine is, but I think the Mythbusters, quite frankly, are going to, and Batman are going to fill up that room.
Yeah.
I have
And
seen many a
early.
WB pilot presentation while waiting for Mythbusters panels. Wait,
Yes.
I have slept through many a WB pilot presentation while waiting for a
Yes.
Mythbusters panel.
Yeah.
Can you
But-
name them? Can you name them?
So
Maybe it was in-
I slept through the pilot of Person of Interest one year.
Really?
Yeah,
So,
like they
right-
took the lights off out.
What was I in the pilot for? Oh, that dumb CW Witch show that came out
What?
after. What was it called?
Oh,
With the kids?
I want to say it was something with like the circle or something, but I don't remember.
The Circle.
Secret Circle. Secret Circle.
Secret Circle.
Yes, yes.
Yes. James' favorite show. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Sarah, what time do you think you have to line up to get into the Adam and Jamie panel?
Well, you do have the benefit of not having Mythbusters in the title, which, silly as it sounds, there's a lot of people are going to pass right over it because it doesn't say Mythbusters there. So it won't be as bad, but, I mean, why not show up at 5:15 and watch Constantine and hang out till 7:15 when Mythbusters start?
I'd go see that. I'd go see
There's-
Constantine.
There's a good chance that the room will clear after Batman.
Yeah, I
Or
agree.
at least clear a lot. So you probably don't have to get there super early, but if you are interested at all in seeing the Batman, yeah, you're going to have to get there pretty early, probably before the Cup of Joe panel. To maybe during the Cup of Joe panel at the latest, but I'd say before the Cup of Joe panel starts, you probably need to get in there to see Batman. Because a lot of people will have the same idea of what happened with Superman last year, that they're going to want to be there to see in case anything happens.
Yeah. We got some questions. Where are they? Keep going until I find the questions.
Oh, that's it for that room. So yeah. Show up probably when DC Entertainment clears out at the latest to get
For
in line
Mythbusters.
for Mythbusters, which is about 3 hours early.
Yeah.
Jennifer Sagers, hopefully I got your name right, says, do you think Cup of Joe could have Star Wars comic title releases? They get licensed in 2015. Quite possibly. Joe talks about everything. So if you ask him, he'll tell you. So that's my answer. Anything to add on that, James?
No.
And then somebody asked, Scott Mueller said, any talent at the Person of Interest panel? Is there anybody
It
listed?
doesn't list anyone.
But we all knew he was going to be there.
Except executive producer.
Yeah.
That's it.
Ah.
Oh, it says executive producer and series offer. So maybe they meant in series cast.
One
Who
would hope,
knows?
because
But, yes.
otherwise it's just going to be a Q&A with the E EP.
Right.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah,
series.
nothing listed, but you never know.
He's going to bring the series with him.
There you go.
All right. Anything
Everybody
else?
gets a DVD.
Yeah. Everything else in 6BCF?
That's
No.
it.
All right. 6A.
6A.
Phineas and Ferb.
Yes.
They're going to be talking about the crossover Star Wars event, which will air
That
on
night.
television that night. So if you want to save your time and just DVR it, there you go.
This will also be, again, to a sneak peek of 2 new animated shows coming to Disney XD. Is it the same 2 shows as the one they're sneaking the day
Yes.
before?
Yes, it is. And again, I do not remember the name, but if you want to know, go read
They
the
didn't say
article.
it. I looked it up. They
So,
didn't say
so you have 2 chances to get your sneak peeks.
Yeah.
Something
Comic-Con-
said.
Comic-Con has gotten so bad that now it's like I saw a sneak peek before anyone else 15 minutes before it aired. Like you'd be like, I saw the Phineas and Ferb, the exclusive, and they're like, I'm watching it right now on television.
But I saw it first.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Then the
Let's-
Turtles.
Yes. Which has
Yeah, that's
quite
awesome.
a
I
few
like that
people.
cartoon. And there's gonna be
A
some
lot of
big,
people.
Yeah.
Sean Astin, Rob Paulson, Seth Green.
Awesome. May
Yeah.
May
Whitman.
Whitman. Kelly who? Josh Peck. Tons
Yeah.
of people.
Yeah.
I don't know who those people are.
Kelly, who was Deathstrike in X2?
Okay.
Lady Deathstrike.
Who's Josh Peck?
I don't know. Casey Jones.
Who's Mae Whitman?
Mae Whitman was in Scott Pilgrim, amongst
She was
other
in
things.
Scott Pilgrim, Parenthood, Arrested Development, a whole bunch of things.
There you go. That's a big panel.
Who's Seth Green?
And it's a good show.
Who's Sean Astin? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Who are you? Who am I talking to? All
Then
right.
Marvel
It's a Ninja
video
Turtle.
games.
Yeah, Marvel video games, which is kind of cool. I guess it's kind of cool. They're going to talk about Disney Infinity 2.0,
Yeah.
which is also going to have an off-site. Then they're going to talk about a bunch of other games that are already out, which is not very exciting.
But basically Disney Infinity too.
Yeah. And a surprise special guest appearance.
Giveaway
and the coolest
alert.
giveaway the coolest giveaway this panel has ever handed out.
Well, how cool that is, I think, depends on what they've handed out in previous years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rotten
lower your
chicken.
expectations, everybody.
Sliders. Don't know. All right.
Then the Blacklist, which has
Yes.
James Spader listed, which
6A. What are they doing? 6A.
but it's James Spader, which lends, credence to the
6A.
everyone's going to be there
Like-
for Avengers.
Put it in BCF. That's a bigger room.
Yeah, it's Blacklist, whatever.
That's like
Yeah.
the biggest show on television, the biggest new show on television. It's got
Yeah, but it's-
freaking
it's-
Ultron in it.
It's
But
not
is
the
it Comic-Con?
Comic-Con crowd show.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
That's
It's
the
got-
difference.
It's got Ultron in it. Of course, it's the Comic-Con crowd. They're gonna
No.
be there. They're gonna want to see him. They
No.
love Spader. They love this show.
See, this is
But
the
he's
difference.
not going to be
though.
talking like Ultron or anything.
No, he's going to be talking
about
the
his character.
Blacklist. Yeah.
He's not what? No.
He's not going to wear an Ultron mask or anything, probably.
He could be wearing Ultron underoos, but we'd never know.
Right.
Or we could know. Which would be awkward. Which would be very awkward. All right. I think that's misplaced, but you guys think otherwise, and you know more than I do. So there you go.
However,
Robert Kirk.
yeah,
Robert Kirkman presents Skybound Entertainment featuring Norman Reedus.
this is going to be
hey,
huge.
it's going to be huge, and Norman Reedus is back. There you go.
That's why it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Rulers of the Realm, which is also going to be huge because George R. R. Martin is going to be on
Yes.
it, and Patrick Rothfuss and others. So
Yeah.
you have
Oh,
some
wow.
pretty big panels in this room.
What is this? What is this? Is this just a book? Is this a comic? What is this?
Yeah.
Rulers of the
It's-
Realm.
It's just they've gotten a bunch of authors together, like you said, George R. R. Martin.
Oh, I thought it was like a series.
No,
Okay.
it's just a
Just
gathering
authors
of
talking
authors.
about the craft, yeah.
Okay.
I'm counting the Roman numerals here so I can say this one. Gazing Comics 27, It's a Queer World is next.
Yep.
And that
It's the
has
same. Yeah.
Prism Comics and other people on it, looks like. And then the
Studios. Yeah.
Prism Comics Mixer is immediately following that. Prism Comics Mixer and Auction. And that rounds out the day in 6A.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
So yeah,
You're
it's going to be clogged
That's
in
not
the
very big. I mean, it's big. 3 is big. I think 145 is big. I think you'll have after Nick, it'll clear out. You'll have half of them stick around for Marvel. And
Yeah,
then
but those
everybody else for Blacklist and Skybound.
and George R. R. Martin, like I don't,
Right.
you're crazy. Those 3 panels are going to be huge. Like there's going to be a
Sure.
line.
There's going to be a line. And
Okay.
it's and there's-
No.
depending on who
Listen,
gets in
guys.
line first, the people who want to see George R. R. Martin will be there.
You can't tell me. Oh, but it's the Blacklist. He's not Ultron. But then you have George R. R. Martin, but he's not talking about Game of Thrones, is he?
That's
Sure he
not. Yeah, he will. Again,
He'll talk about the book.
about their books.
Nobody reads the books. They watch this TV show.
You have to, again, though, you have to understand, like, Comic-Con crowd is not necessarily, like, the rest of the world.
I know.
So,
I know.
like, So,
I
like,
know, they're-
Orphan Black is not watched by 1 million people live ever, but it'll have a line down the block to get in. Blacklist is watched by a ton of people, not so long a line.
Look, if everybody brought their dad with them, then you could make
Yes.
the rounds between the Blacklist panel and the Person of Interest panel, and they'd be packed. But they don't. So
Yes,
Well,
accurate.
Betty White is here earlier in the week, so they might be staying older. You never know.
She'll be there, front row.
Is audio? Is you guys hearing me okay? Ivy says
Yeah.
audio's cutting in and out.
I can
Okay.
hear you.
All right.
I think we finished Saturday.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
did.
Almost.
Let's do Dark Horses real
Well,
quick.
all right. So any room contention you guys want to talk about? Nothing. Everything's just rooms are what they are.
It's what it
Okay.
is. It's what it is every year.
Okay. Who
Okay.
wants to go first?
Okay.
Wait. Sarah, since
Yeah.
you are new, we're gonna
Oh,
throw
boy.
you in the deep end. You have to come up with your Dark Horse panel for Saturday.
And you can only pick one to
I
start.
know, I'm trying to just pick one. It's really hard.
Well,
Yeah,
sometimes
I know,
we
this
come
is
back
hard.
and do more. But start with one.
Yeah. You could do James's top 10 list.
I heard
But
that.
start with one.
Well, I know that from Friday nights, there's not a whole lot of fans here of the writers-only panels, Big Bang Theory. But Saturday morning at 11:30 and 24 ABC is Inside the Writers' Room, Earth's Mightiest Writers Reassemble. And so there's going to be a ton of writers from a ton of different shows. Vampire Diaries, Big Bang Theory, there's a shocker, Parenthood, Grey's Anatomy, Constantine, Star Wars Clone Wars, it goes on and on. So I think that's going to be interesting if you kind of want to be able to throw questions about pretty much anything you've ever liked.
Huh, that's cool. That's a good one. All right. James.
James. Okay. I have to narrow it down. It sucks.
He's never stopped you
I'm
before.
going through my top 7 here. Come
my
on.
God.
Yeah, give me a second here. I'm gonna try not to pick one that someone else is gonna pick.
No, pick it, because then you trump them. Then they have to come up with something else. That's the whole fun about it.
No. Okay. I'm gonna go with something that may be interesting to hear stories about, and that's the spotlight on Willie Ito, who was an animator for Disney and Warner Brothers, and has worked on things like Lady and the Tramp and What's Opera Doc and Beanie and Cecil and just a ton of stuff. And I think it would be interesting to hear some of the stories that he has to tell. So that's my dark horse.
Cool.
Nice.
All right. Kerry, you or me?
I'll go, but I would like to point out the Stone Monkey Tube said Jeremy's Dark Horse panel would be Spotlight on Dane DeHaan.
Really? He said that?
Yeah. Awesome.
And he would be correct.
Yes, he would. But my Dark Horse panel is really
Thanks,
not
Stone
that
Monkey.
much of a Dark Horse. It's just in a smaller room. American Horror Story is finally coming to Comic-Con at long last. And we don't even have to be subjected to the creator. What's his name?
Ryan Murphy?
Yes, we don't have to be subjected to Ryan Murphy.
Because I can't believe we didn't mention it.
No, because it's
in a small room.
In the
It's
tiniest room.
6DE at 7 p.m. And it's got a ton of people. Angela Bassett, Kathy Bates, Michael Chiklis, Sarah Paulson, Evan Peters, Emma Roberts, and Tim Minear, who did Firefly and a bunch of other things. But I would expect the line for that to be, again, like down the block. Because it's never been to Comic-Con before, and who in the world knows if it will ever be coming again.
Jesus Christ could probably walk across the arena and they'd throw him in a small room this year. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I know. And it's also worth mentioning, this is the only FX show that's
He's gonna
coming.
be like, "But they brought all this bread. What am I gonna do with this? I don't have a room."
It's the only FX show coming that's not doing a signing. So,
Yeah, right.
yeah, this is your only chance to see any of those people.
Okay.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's a big one, and it's the first one. First time it's there, so that's
Yeah.
pretty big. Okay, which one am I gonna do?
Do we take
Which one am I
any?
gonna do? Not, I picked a bunch, but I'm not gonna do my top 10. I'm gonna. All right, there's a lot. There's a lot here, right?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick one that most people will be able to get into. Ready for this one?
Yep.
Phil Tippett, Analog and Digital Effects.
Yeah. I saw that one.
So it's at 7:30 p.m., which is perfect timing for you to get out of Marvel and actually get something to eat. He is the award-winning stop-motion and CGI master who had worked on such classics as Star Wars, Jurassic Park, RoboCop, many others. Joining Phil will be Corey Rosen from a bunch of other movies and some other dudes, and they're going to talk about stuff.
Starship Troopers 2.
I think that there's going to be some cool discussions there. So that's cool. I like that one. There's plenty of other ones, though. You want to start throwing them out?
Honorable mentions time!
All right, throw them out. Throw them out.
Marvel's Avengers Station, superhero science analysis for all the science nerds out there. There is Ascension, which is in a small room as well, and it's Tricia Helfer and Brian Van Holt in the new show.
That's a sci-fi show, right?
Yeah, something. Yeah, and then the Making of Twin Peaks Blu-ray panel.
Yes.
That's on my list.
Yeah.
The Disney's Gargoyles 20th anniversary panel.
That's on my list.
Yeah,
And the
makes
Fight
it cool.
Club, which is going to have Chuck Palahniuk, how he pronounces, and David Fincher on a panel talking about.
What? David Fincher's going to be there?
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah, Fincher is going to be there.
Whoa, that's huge.
Yeah, exactly, and that's at 7 o'clock. So
Really?
all kinds of cool stuff.
All right, I got 3:30 Big Trouble in Little China.
That's a comic book, though.
It's a comic book, but you know who it's written by? Eric Powell from The Goon. And they're going to be talking about that comic. Weird Al's at 3:30. Don't forget about Weird Al.
All the way off
the,
to Fort and
Fort
Grand.
Mass Effect at 2. Charting a new course, developing the next Mass Effect, which is pretty interesting and cool and all that good stuff for video game fans. Oh, that 70s panel. Did you guys see this one at 4:30?
That's cool, too.
Yeah, with Len Wein and Walt Simonson and a bunch of other guys talking about this, how it was to make comics in the 70s, which is really cool.
And
then there's
over from the big-time creators who started in the 60s with the explosion of comics and into them who carried it on.
Yep, there's a little one at 5:30 called Marvel Studios. It was a joke. And then at 8:30 is, I just want to mention this, our good friend Dr. Ali Matu is going to be on a panel, The Psychology of Star Trek vs. Star Wars, Episode 4. So that's at 8:30.
Cool.
All right, anyone else want to throw them out?
Real quick, if you do want to go to the masquerade, please remember that you do not just have to get up super early Saturday morning to get tickets. There's like 3 or 4 simulcast rooms, and one of them is a party on the sales pavilion. There's free food. There's a DJ while they take their scoring, judging break. Like, it's a real party, so you don't have to get a ticket.
Cool. Thanks, Sarah.
Do not break dance and crack your head open on the cement.
Not
Somebody do that?
recommended.
That happened a few, like 5-7 years ago, something like that. I don't know if they cracked their head open, but yeah, it wasn't. There was something happened.
Ouch.
I heard. So don't do that.
Yeah, not recommended.
Yeah, people
You
didn't
bring
know
your
if that
lightsaber,
was
though.
like...
Lots of people do.
All right, cool. That's Saturday. All right, let's go.
Done.
Yeah, no, let's go to Sunday, and I have a feeling we're gonna just brush through this one.
Yeah, well, two of the rooms are gone.
Yeah.
So no Indigo and no Ballroom 20. They moved everything to Hall H.
Yep.
And
And it's a short day in Hall H.
Super short. You wanna take it because it's TV?
Sure. Starting at 10 a.m. is Supernatural, which has been in Hall H the last couple years, and they're bringing the usual crew, which is Jared Padalecki, Jensen Ackles, Misha Collins, Mark Shepard, and Jeremy Carver, who's one of the producers. He'll be there. It's a good time. It's there every year. If you've been before, it'll be the same.
You know what to expect.
Yeah, basically. And then 11:15, the following, got a huge room upgrade all the way up to Hall H. And they're bringing Kevin Bacon, Sean Ashmore, who's obviously in the X-Men series, Sam Underwood, Jessica Stroup, however we say her name, Kevin Williamson, who did Scream and Dawson's Creek. And then at 12:30 is Sons of Anarchy, which the last couple years, Sons of Anarchy has actually closed out Hall H, and it's a little bit sad that it's not doing it this year, just because since it's the last panel in Hall H, usually the cast would just hang out and keep talking for like
Isn't
2
it the
hours.
last year for the show too?
Yeah, this will be the last panel because it's going to be the last year for the show, so it's a little bit sad that it's actually not going to be the last.
Also very popular. I've
Yes.
been in. I don't watch the show. My wife watches the show, but I've kind of stumbled into there, and
It's
a
really
very
good.
full house. Yeah.
It's really good, but they're bringing absolutely everybody, so that'll be packed. And then after that, starting at 1:45, is a 2-hour-long panel for The Strain, which they're going to be showing episode 3 of the show, and they're bringing a whole bunch of people, including Guillermo del Toro, who wrote the series that it's actually based on, and I think he directed the pilot. Carlton Hughes, a whole bunch of cast members like Corey Stoll, David Bradley, Sean Astin, a whole bunch of people.
Sean Astin's in it?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's
That's
actually,
it's a 2-hour panel, so they're getting a long Q&A.
Yeah, I couldn't figure that out because are these like longer episodes? Because I know I don't think it's a full season. It's like a short 6-episode season or something goofy. So
No,
I don't know if
it's
they're like
13.
longer.
It's like a 13, yeah.
Maybe Comic-Con just listed it for a long time because they didn't want to schedule anything else.
I mean, basically, well, and like I said, that's basically Sons of Anarchy. We'd be scheduled for an hour, but they'd hang out for like 2. So I think they've basically just said like, let's show the episode, and then we'll have an hour-long Q&A.
It's not like they're getting a big bonus. It's episode 3.
Yeah.
It's like episodes 3 that you can watch when you go home tonight. Another one of those. And then we're going to close out about. And then it ends early. Like last year, there was a 3:50 panel.
Yeah.
So
not this year.
Not this year. I think it went to 5 o'clock last year. This time it goes 3:45. Like almost everything. James was telling me otherwise, but I'm looking. There's a 4 o'clock panel here and there, but for the most part, the whole convention closes at
4
early. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Underwhelming. Hall H. Very underwhelming, I think.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, last year there was 6 shows that they managed to squeeze in to Hall H on Sunday, and this year there's only 4. And we're getting and I mean, we're getting some extra time with The Strain, which is cool because it's got Del Toro and some other people. But
do you think they're going to be strained to fill that time?
I think they might.
Okay.
It's so bad.
Oh yeah, Melody Torres. What do you think about the Sailor Moon panel?
this-
I marked that. I gotta check that out. But go ahead, guys.
So there's going to be a large crowd to get in for Supernatural, and then it's pretty much going to kind of just come as you come and go.
There's gonna be a ghost town in there all day after Supernatural. As a matter of fact, a lot of people. I don't think that people are even gonna. People are gonna camp out for Supernatural, but I don't even think it'll fill. Supernatural's popular, but I don't think it's gonna fill.
I think when you add in the limited crowds for those other shows, it will fill up for Supernatural, but I don't think for any of the others.
Or let me ask you this: do you think that you can get there at 9:50 and get in?
I'd say 9:30. I don't know about 9:50.
All right. But as long as they don't take the back rows out, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Also true.
Okay. All right.
All
And then we're just moving right on to 6 BCF.
Yep.
And this is my domain
It's
here.
you.
It's all you.
So it's Kids Day, so we've got a full slate of kids programming, including Scooby-Doo, Frank and Creepy, Teen Titans Go, Lego Batman 3, and Quentin Tarantino.
Tarantino, family, right there.
Kids.
That's why I started laughing. Total
What
family
the hell?
show right there. It's so awesome.
Be full of F-bombs and foot fetish stories.
Seriously though, what is with bringing these huge directors this year and putting them in tiny little rooms?
On Kids Day! This one!
Yeah.
Again, could you imagine the people that don't know what the panel schedule is and they're there with their kid? Like Lego Batman 3. Hey, Johnny, you want to see what's next? Beep, beep. He walks in, what the beep, beep, beep?
It'd be like that time that I wanted to go see
Johnny,
the
cover your ears.
announcement. The announcement for Hellboy, and took my niece and nephew into the Hellboy
God.
panel with Guillermo del Toro. Yeah, we didn't last more than 5 or 10 minutes. I'm like, all right, let's go.
He doesn't have very sparing on the F-bombs either. Yeah, I mean, it's cool, right? So I'm a big Scooby-Doo fan, but whatever. Teen Titans Go, that's there every year. Lego Batman 3, it's a video game, so whatever.
Hey,
And then,
Adam West is going to be in that Lego Batman 3 panel.
oh, is he?
Yeah.
Remember, click on the panels so you find out what's in there. That's what I'm doing. Oh yeah, Adam West, special guest star Adam West.
Yeah.
That's cool.
This is what happens when you read the entire schedule. Like
It
I did.
helps.
You're like, I gotta find something that I'm gonna go to. I just have to. There's got to be something in here that's going to interest me. Click. There's got to be something. If I click enough, maybe something interesting will come up. And then there's the all right. So this is whatever. So Dynamite.
Screening.
No, Dynamite.
Dynamite?
I just want to go on this. They're gonna do some Django Unchained comic meets Zorro, and that's why Quentin Tarantino's gonna be there.
Right.
Okay, and then Buffy.
And then Buffy.
That's it. Like, dude, those are the big rooms. So, like, we're totally into
6A.
All right.
More.
6A.
All right, yeah,
We're not done.
Oh, Sarah, do 6A because you wrote this up.
6A. It's a sunny day in 6A because we're starting with Sesame Street. Yeah. That panel actually sounds super awesome. They're going to do all the pop culture spoofs. They're going to bring a bunch of the Muppets and the Muppeteers. Chris Hardwick's moderating. And but anyway, super cool videos. They're doing a Comic-Con spoof that they're going to premiere at the panel. So that's going to be great. Followed by Cartoon Voices 2. So if you enjoyed Cartoon Voices 1, come back for more. Greg Berger from the Garfield
Show. I thought we said they were good. The voice of Grimlock. Greg Berger's going to be there.
The panel's so nice they named it twice.
Grimlock go to his panel.
So, and with great stars such as Vanessa Marshall, Deborah Wilson, and maybe someone else. That's a verbatim from the panel description. It closes out with the words, and maybe someone else.
Yeah, I saw that. It's going to be the voice of the Pink Panther.
Oh, God.
Because he doesn't talk. He doesn't talk. That's fine.
Followed by a Nickelodeon show that I've never heard of because I don't have kids and I don't watch Nickelodeon, called Sanjay and Craig.
Don't worry, I have kids and they don't watch Nickelodeon either.
But some of the panelists are a little interesting. Chris Hardwick will be there. Malik, I can't pronounce his name. Malik Penchueli, he was on 30 Rock. He was the assistant on 30 Rock. Tony Hale from Arrested Development. John DiMaggio from Futurama. So there's they've got some pretty good stars on this panel that they've put together for Kids Day.
It says they're going to be doing like a live episode or something.
Yes,
yes. They're going to perform an episode live with sound effects and everything.
Yeah, so that should, at the very least, be pretty entertaining.
Right.
Nice way to spend your afternoon. And then the world premiere of Tom and Jerry, The Lost Dragon. Woo! So I guess if you like Tom and Jerry, you can see it before it comes out on DVD, September 2nd.
I like Tom and Jerry.
All right, well then you know where to go.
I like classic Tom and Jerry.
I'm going to be home by then.
And the day closes out with their classic closer, Starship SmackDown. This is Battle of the Intergalactic Stars edition. If you've never been to Starship SmackDown, they have this panel of like geek celebrity-ish people or writers or people, and they have a bunch of like different spaceships, and they have a fake tournament, a battle to see who would win in a competition. But it's actually a lot of fun. It's just geeks being really snarky about stuff that they like.
Cool.
Yeah, those are always big.
Sesame Street's the only big panel, I think. Well, the SmackDown's pretty popular, but I'm pretty sure the Sesame Street one's.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Sesame Street one is going to be the one that's hard to get into.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, SmackDown is, I mean, fairly well attended for a 4 o'clock Sunday panel, but you can definitely just walk right in.
Yeah.
No
worries.
All right. Real quick before we do our dark horses for Sunday, has anybody found Snowpiercer on the schedule? It is on the list for the playback. Yeah, we saw that too.
Can I talk about this a little bit?
Yeah,
Please
go
do.
for it.
Okay, so for anybody who doesn't know, normally for the playbacks, they would, at the end of the day, was it in Ballroom 20, Sarah, or where would they do those?
No, I think they were in a smaller room, like one of the, like the 5A or something like that.
Yeah, but they used to do, and they still do, playbacks for some of the different shows, so if you couldn't make it into Hall H or Ballroom 20, you can go here and watch it. And they've moved it this year over to the Omni Hotel on the 4th floor ballroom. So you can find those on the schedule, and they all say playback really clearly. But there's some really weird things going on with this playback schedule, and I'm pretty sure they've just misnamed a bunch of things. Like, it says on Saturday featuring Universal, which they don't necessarily have a panel. I'm pretty sure that's meant to be Legendary. And then on Friday, it says playback featuring Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Horns, Snowpiercer, and Fox Theatrical, which is incredibly weird because not only is Snowpiercer not coming to the convention, it's already in theaters.
And actually, it's out on VOD now.
There you go. It's out on video on demand and in theaters. But
maybe somebody at Comic-Con just sprung for the video on demand and just wanted to watch the movie during the
Maybe.
Play it in the playback room.
They could pay
maybe.
the $20.
But what I think happened is the Weinstein Company kind of played around with when to release this, how to release this. It had a whole bunch of issues because they wanted to cut it down, and the director didn't want to. But it came out just like a week ago into theaters nationwide. And I'm pretty sure they were probably originally planning to bring Snowpiercer, and instead we've got Salma Hayek and Everly, which probably replaced it, and I assume that's what will actually be in that playback. So that's what I think is going on with all that.
All right, there we go. And somebody asked this question: do you think there'll be a line for the playback sessions?
No.
Nope.
Because they
There
don't.
you
They
go.
don't.
It's happening.
Yeah.
They're happening in the middle of the day. Everyone will be
it's
seeing the
weird.
stuff that's
Yeah,
happening that day.
Yeah, they start at 10:30 a.m. and they go till like 9 o'clock at night. But the last one of each day is what they call free play, and so basically whoever's in that room at that time, they're gonna ask, "What do you want to see?" and you vote, and they show it.
Cartoon voice is one.
Woo!
All right. What do I have? One more. Oh, this is funny. Paul Kennerly said, "This is good for you, James. How can they have a panel about Fight Club when the first rule of Fight Club is not to talk about Fight Club?"
That's good.
That is funny.
Yeah. All right.
Why did I
Dark
think of
Horses.
that?
All right. So Dark Horses. Did I go last?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll go first. Where's my panel? Sunday. See, the funny thing is that everything here is stuff that we talked about. There are two panels on here that aren't. I'm going to go with Console Wars, the Sega Nintendo, Console Wars, Sega Nintendo, and the Battle to Define a Generation. I mentioned on a podcast a few weeks ago. I read this book. Just came out about a month ago. Blake J. Harris wrote it, and it's about the 16-bit era of video games and how Sega took on Nintendo. But the cool thing about this is the author's going to be there. Tom Kalinske, who is the president of Sega of America during the time, is going to be there. Al Nilsson, who worked for Tom on some of the big marketing campaigns and stuff, like the Sega Scream and Sonic and all that stuff. Bill White, who worked for Nintendo, and Perrin Kaplan, who also worked for Nintendo. She was a chief marketing or something. She was in marketing. And then, so you've got all these executives of the big console companies from the 90s, which is cool. And then Julian Rosenberg, they're making a documentary based on the film. And interestingly enough, they're also making a film that Seth Rogen brought, but he's going to produce it. He bought the rights to the film, so they're going to do like a real movie, like a Social Network type movie about this. But he's not there, and they're not. Maybe they'll talk about it, maybe they won't. But they're going to talk about the documentary. But a lot of big people at this panel, and it's 2:30 at room 23 ABC. That's mine.
Cool.
All right. So Kerry, you're next.
Okay. Truthfully, there's like absolutely nothing I care about on Sunday, but
It's tough. It's tough.
it is this year. Well, I mean, we already hit the big things. Like Sesame Street, I'm sure would be cool. But the Comic-Con Talkback happens every year, and it's at 3:30 this year over in 23 ABC, and that's basically where John Rogers, who's the president of Comic-Con International, comes and listens to people's complaints and suggestions about the convention and what they can do to improve it, and sometimes they say some interesting things. And that's really about all I've got.
Only sometimes.
Only sometimes.
All right. Okay. Cool.
James, I think, is next.
Yes.
James. One panel.
This is a lot easier for today. Yes. I only
It's
have like
actually probably a lot harder because we've already said all of them.
I've got like 3.
What?
I could find stuff. Seriously.
He could.
I am going to go with at 10 a.m. Room 24 ABC, The Fifth Beatle, The Beatles, The Big Screen and Beyond, which was a graphic novel that came out last year, and the writer-producer is going to be there, Vivek J. Tiwari. And they're going to introduce a series of very special guests about the Fifth Beatles' development as a film, basically. So who knows who the special guests are? But it's been approved by McCartney, Ringo Starr, Yoko Ono, and Olivia Harrison. So who knows what will happen there? But I just think it's really interesting to see.
Yeah, I saw that too. I thought that would be interesting because it's not talking about the graphic novel. It's talking about them adapting it for the film.
Correct.
So it's almost, in a sense, a film panel.
Right.
Sunday. All right, and then Sarah, you're last. Is there anything left?
I have 3 left on my list, but the
Whoa.
one I'm gonna 3, shocking. But I'm gonna go with 345 and Room 5AB, the Lego Movie, which is gonna be like the making of the Lego Movie.
I thought you were gonna get that. I thought you were gonna get that, Kerry.
I can't believe no one took it already.
Yeah, I didn't take it because I thought Kerry was going to take it, but I also wanted to see the console.
Too mainstream, man. Too mainstream.
Yeah.
So mainstream, they stuck it in 5AB.
At 3:45 in the afternoon on the last day.
Yeah.
Remember that movie that's like the biggest grossing movie of the year? You might have forgot about it.
Captain America? Sorry,
No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
Did it get back again?
No, it never was.
It was.
It was.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
I don't
For
believe
like a
you.
week at least. Fine, whatever.
I don't believe you.
Honorable mention. Do we have like 10 honorable mentions this time? No,
No.
we do not.
No.
No, Sunday's week.
We have Disney's Masters.
I don't have anything.
Live
I have
Drawing.
nothing else on my panel schedule. Now, you guys have talked to all of them. I had Lego, Talkback, Buffy. That's it. Everything else we've talked about.
But it's 3 Disney master teachers talking about drawing stuff, which I think is cool.
Yeah, they did
And
something.
then the Comic-Con how-to drawing with Jim Lee, the guy who basically co-runs DC Comics currently, is going to sit there and do art or talk about art, which I think is cool. And then that's it.
Who's art?
So 2 more. Oh, the annual Jack Kirby panel at 10 a.m.
Oh yeah, that was on my list.
His art. Yeah, Jack Kirby panel, which is going to
That's
have again some guys talking about Jack Kirby. Games.
No, I meant like who's art. Like I never heard of that guy. Art.
Oh, who's art?
I had to explain that joke.
I'm going
whatever.
too fast here. I'm looking at other stuff.
Whatever. Hey,
It wasn't bad enough for me to notice.
Can we grade Sunday? What do we think?
Go ahead.
C+.
D.
You're being generous.
D
I'd
minus.
I'd say like a C minus. C.
Yeah,
C
I was
minus.
gonna say C minus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm being cruel, but I'm probably a D plus to be honest with you. There's nothing on the panel schedule. this
No,
year.
there's not.
It's a pretty grim Sunday schedule.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm gonna try.
There's better panel schedules
Doing
at
the
WonderCon
thing where
on
you-
Sunday.
Yeah, I'm gonna try running into like 15 different panels throughout the day and walk the show floor and take a bunch of photos.
Yeah.
All in what is it? 6 hours, 7 hours?
Yeah. You just
I'm
might.
gonna attempt that. I'm gonna get there at 10 a.m. 9:30 when it opens, and I'm just gonna start.
Yeah. Good luck. All right, so real quick, Ivy says the disrespect for Blacklist Geek Cred is killing my soul. Thank you, Ivy. Thank you. Finally, somebody agrees with me. So-called television experts. Here's the big one.
We have
Tom
our likes
Jones.
and our dislikes and our don't cares.
Yeah, Kerry, any rumblings of what might be going on at Nerd HQ?
Yes, actually. We will be hearing, theoretically, something about Nerd HQ tomorrow. Nothing to do with the panels, but we should be hearing some news about Nerd HQ very soon. And then we should start getting the panel schedule at some point next week, and I may or may not know when. And their exact...
She knows when.
Yeah. But their exact words were something to the extent of, this year we'll have some of the biggest names that they've ever had before over at Nerd HQ. Yeah. That they've never had before.
So when they say biggest, do they mean longest names? Like the guy from Cheers. What's his name?
No, they just made the font bigger on the tickets this year.
Benedict Cumberbatch would fit both options: long name or big star.
What about that Nicola Costa-Waldau guy? Yes. Him.
Thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a long name. That's a big name.
He'll be there. He'll be there then.
What about John Ratzenberger?
His first
I
name
don't
just
think
kind of
that's
killed
long
that.
enough.
So. If it was
What
like
Yeah.
What if we
Jonathan
went with
Rice Myers Ratzenberger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But we should be hearing some stuff soon. And we've got quite a bit more information to share, but we'll be doing that this week.
Haha.
Ah!
Read our site. Read our site. Please don't kidnap Kerry because she knows information and it's handcuffed to her right now. She's not showing you, but there's a briefcase. Yeah.
Yes. But
That's
like I
all
said,
about-
yeah. But hopefully they'll be posting something tomorrow. So keep an eye out.
Are they going to be talking about the John Ratzenberger panel yet?
Totally.
Okay. And then Melody Torres says, they should learn by now to spread out the big shows in other rooms. That's why lines get so long and people wait for so long, because people are waiting for different panels and are sitting in a room for a certain panel. You know,
You can spread them out as much as you want. People are still going to camp out. People are still going
but
to...
I know what she's saying, and
Yeah.
I think that I don't know if they just didn't have enough to work with this year, which is kind of surprising. But James, you and I mean, we've done this for 3 years now, and I remember really talking about how they made us make really hard choices in years past to pull the audience apart. I don't see that a lot this year. Like, the only hard choices are, well, there's 2 rooms that have panels that I want to go to. Everything else is whatever I can do without. So.
On what I've been seeing in comments, the only time the entire week where people are having a trouble is Friday afternoon.
Yeah, I agree.
What's going on Friday?
You've got
Specifically.
TV spread out between several rooms. Like that 6A is jam-packed with like Orphan Black, Vikings, all that. There's big stuff in Ballroom 20. There's big stuff in Hall H. Like, yeah.
Basically, like the 3 o'clock until 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, it's a mess. People are having to make hard choices, and they're going to miss stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We've got some. I don't think we've got anything on Twitter, so I'm not to ignore the guys on Twitter, but. All right. Anything in closing, guys? Are you excited about Comic-Con?
Yeah.
I am, kinda.
I'm excited about the Nerd HQ schedule. Bring it.
Ouch. Ouch.
That was harsh.
But you know what? Like, that's how I am every year, too.
But Nerd HQ is still very limited audience, and they typically still just bring in, with exception, some of the same people that Comic-Con are. So, I mean, you probably know, Kerry, how much different they're going to bring, but...
I don't care if it's different. I care if I can pay $20 to go see Tom Hiddleston and not have to wait in a single line. Awesome.
Right.
Like,
as long as you're one of the 300, or 250 or whatever they can fit,
Mhm.
All right. Anything else in closing, guys?
Go shawarma.
Not yet. Remember what we forgot last time. James.
Yes.
It's funny you should mention this. Where can our listeners find more of your work on the internet?
I am on Twitter, Flickr, most everywhere as Dan Riegel, and you can check out our photo website at geekshotphoto.com.
You know what? I totally realized I never got to use my sound effect.
Aww. How do you feel about the convention this year, Jeremy? And that says it all.
I hope people stuck around for that one.
That's the perfect ending to the show.
And to anyone who is excited, who we've offended, we're only partly sorry.
That's how I feel about them.
Hey, I'm still excited about some stuff. It's just not like wall-to-wall excitement anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. You had to fit them all into this like 2-minute span.
I know, because I got so excited about making fun of the panel schedule all the last 2 hours that I forgot to actually make fun of it. So.
How dare you?
How about you, Kerry? Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Kerry Dixon, which is Kerrydixon, and if you found me anywhere else, go away. Sarah, where can we find you?
Oh, wait, real quick. Sean Boyd, do you have an offsite breakdown? We generally do that next week or this Thursday right before the convention. We'll do like a Nerd HQ and offsite breakdown, so look for that this week. Sarah, where can we find you on the internet?
My website is conshark.com, and I'm on Twitter as @consharknews.
Cool. I got one more question. Mike Nelson, I can't. Is a sucky panel scheduled to help cut down on demand for tickets next year? Mike,
No.
but you know what? I actually that crossed my mind. That totally did. I was like, is this their way of doing crowd control? But it was.
It doesn't matter.
I'd be honest with you, but I mean, no.
Yeah,
But
it's not going to matter at all.
it's not going to matter.
Everyone will be just like, it was an off year. I'll make sure I go next year.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you can find me at Spot Anime, also at SD_comic_con. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/SDConblog, and you can tweet us at SD_comic_con. We're also on iTunes, so if you'd like to subscribe, the links are up on the blog. Search for our SDConCast in iTunes, and if you like what you've heard so far, please review us. That's it, James. What you got for us?
Go shawarma.
When Joss Whedon wrote you back, you almost had a heart attack. You still talk about it to this day. It's a memory that lingers on, like meeting Spike at DragonCon, or seeing Nathan Fillion in LA. What will your children think of Angel when they're grown? When they're grown, oh, will they love River like you did? When they're grown, when they're grown.